When in doubt, always bet on Noah. Where the hell am I? Noah asked himself, looking around the random woods he found himself in. Did he get dragged here? Hey, anyone there? I'm sorry to tell you that I'm too lonely for any ransom. You won't get anything, Noah yelled into the forest, causing birds to flap away. Was he kidnapped? Noah looked around, there was no sign of any humans, and no sign of anyone dragging him here either. Did someone just float him here? The fuck was he supposed to do then? Noah sighed. He had read that if one found themselves lost in the woods, the first thing to do was to look for water. As soon as he got up though, a sound could be heard in his head. Ding, asterisk, welcome to the Type Moon Gacha system. Quote. Noah looked plainly at the blue screen in front of him. Gotcha, fuck, he fell down again, clutching his hair, memories running through his head. Fuuuck, gotcha, his luck was downright horrendous. While having a system was always good, what in the world is he supposed to do with gacha? The host can roll for aspects or abilities in the Type Moon franchise. No shit, he could roll for stuff, it was in the goddamn name. He got back up and grasped his long hair. Wait, long hair. Noah immediately pulled out his shorts, to see his dick perfectly fine. He sighed in relief. Thank Christ he was still a man. Then what the hell was the long-ass hair for? His hair that fell down all the way to his feet was also pale blonde, but more reminiscent of a lighter gray. Maybe even a kind of silver. Ah fuck, he didn't know color names. Did he get twinkified? His face morphed into horror. As a transmigration perk, the host has changed vessels. He changed vessels. Was he a servant then? He didn't really know a lot of servants in F-Go. Maybe a few, like Jalter, and maybe Jalter. Goth women for the win. At least he wasn't a girl. So what servant did he turn into? The host's designated vessel is the Grand Rider, Noah. Whoa, it's his namesake. But Noah, like the Noah's Ark, that's the only Noah that he could think of. Grand Rider meant that they were pretty strong, right? Like hard counters for beasts. So then was he broken now? Hell yeah. Negative, only the physical body is Noah. Noah paused. Fuck. What did Noah look like in game again? He hadn't really played that far. Well, since he had a system, maybe living in the woods would be much easier than he expected. So, how does the system work? The host gets 3 free pulls every day at 12 AM, but the host can get more pulls for completing quests or completing achievements. Noah hummed in acknowledgement. Do I get like a first sign-in bonus or something? The host gets a free 10 pulls. Is there like a pity system? No, Noah wanted to punch whoever designed the system. No pity at all. There wasn't much Noah could do other than complain about it, so he gave up. So that means I have 13 free pulls, right? Yes. Noah wasn't the type to do 10 pulls, seeing as he was a F2P trust player. Who would willingly spend money on a game where you aren't even guaranteed to get a good result? Might as well go to a casino instead. Trust. Pull. The actual prize content was unknown, so Noah could only pray and hope he got something useful. God, I look like one of your homies, so please bless me. Noah got on his knees, clasping his hands together in a praying gesture. Stat point small plus 0.1 strength. ... Excuse me, the fuck? What part of this was fate? Hey system, the fuck is this supposed to mean? Noah complained. He thought he would get something broken like Excalibur, or something like that. This is an increase in status. So I have a status screen or something like that? Yes. Bruh, why didn't you tell me this earlier? Host didn't ask. Ah, fuck you. Noah pulled a middle finger at the system screen. Then is there anything you didn't tell me at all? There is also an inventory, which can only contain objects from the gacha pull. Ah, well I guess this system is barebones as hell. Noah mused. So what's my status screen? Noah, vessel. Noah source, Old Testament. Parameters. Strength, 5.24 not even F. Endurance, 5.12 not even F. Agility, 5.12 not even F. Mana, 0.00 not even F. Luck, 80.58B. NP, not applicable. Extra skills. Opening square bracket closing square bracket. Class skills. Opening square bracket closing square bracket. Personal skills. Opening square bracket closing square bracket. Noble phantasm. Opening square bracket closing square bracket. Holy shit, he was weak as fuck. Wait, if an E rank stat meant that they were 10 times the strength of the average human. Never mind, he was average as fuck instead. So the pull he got increased his strength by 0.1. System, how much for a stat to be E rank? 50. Damn, so he was indeed average. What about A plus rank? 100. What? That made absolutely zero sense. If A plus meant that it was 20 times stronger than him right now. There's no way that Heracles is only 20 times stronger than him. Bro is built like a tank. The strength increase starting at 50 is exponential. What was exponential again? He wasn't much for intelligence. But how was his luck stat so high? He didn't consider himself lucky, seeing as he had to waste a shit ton of money to get Jalter. Wait, no he didn't spend money. F2P all the way, you know what I mean. Welp, never mind, back to gambling. Pull, something other than stats, please. 5 magic circuits of B rank quality plus 6.00 mana. Ack. A stinging pain flowed through his right arm, as if someone had replaced the bones in his arm with molten iron. Noah grasped his arm, his face contorting in pain. He rolled around on the ground, his entire body tensed up, shaking from the amount of force he was putting in his muscles. Fuuuck. A few minutes passed as the pain slowly ebbed away. Noah took deep breaths, still grasping on his right arm hard enough for a red outline of his hand was on his pale skin. He could see 5 glowing circuits in his right arm. Wait, this is low-key metal as fuck. Noah commented, observing the glowing circuits, his breathing stabilizing. What the hell happened to his mental trigger? Did he just not have to do it at all? Due to the large amount of ambient mana in the air due to the continuation of the Age of Gods, the magic circuits have automatically activated. What the hell? There was way too much in that statement. The Age of Gods was still around. Did that mean he wasn't in the Fate universe? Where the hell was he then? Don't tell him he was in ancient Greece. The system didn't respond. Useless. I almost died over here. Noah whined, rolling on the ground again. After realizing that whining was futile, Noah reluctantly got in a sitting position. He was truly shameless. Now I'm kind of scared of these pulls, man. Noah contemplated. But if we was in a place where power was key, Age of Gods, then using his golden finger was probably his best bet. Pull, please, don't hurt me. Expecting pain, Noah tensed up, closing his eyes. Craft Essence Hippo-chan. A box of 4 chocolates appeared in his hands. He slowly opened his eyes. They looked like a bald eagle, so what the hell was Hippo-chan supposed to mean? Noah took one eagle and scanned it. Well, he needed food, so maybe this was a good thing. He took a bite, before contemplating his existence. He wanted to gag. This shit is way too sweet. I don't have any water either. He closed his eyes and slowly put the bald eagle chocolate back in the box and put it in the inventory. Is this really a craft essence? It is Valentine's Day chocolate from Servant Brodamant. Quote. This gacha really does take everything from the Fate universe. Noah sighed. At this rate, was he just supposed to eat that shiver-inducing chocolate for dinner? What about a home? Don't worry, host. Until all 13 pulls are complete, there will be no hostile enemies around you. Think of it as a tutorial ground. At least there was a silver lining. Jalter, please, something good. Pull. Servant skill jewel of the earth A rank. Oh, Noah cheered. A skill, which servant is it from? Sita origin, Ramayana. Damn, who in the world is that? Noah had zero idea who Sita was, nor was he familiar with their origin. Not to be racist, but it sounded Indian, or Hindu. After all, he only played FGO for the women and watched the anime for Saber. So, what does the skill do? You are loved by the earth and protected by the earth. Now what the hell is that supposed to mean? Noah rubbed his non-existent beard and thought. With how fate worked, then was it similar to how Enkidu's connection with nature worked? Like was he loved by the ground, water, and animals? If that was how it worked, then that was pretty good. Thank you, Jalter. Maybe Jalter was his lucky charm. Jalter, my queen, please gimme something good. Pull. Mystic Code Rin's pendant. A necklace with a jewel pendant appeared in his hands. Wasn't this the thing that revived his goat Emiya Shuru in Fate Stay Night? And summoned the other goat counter guardian Emiya? Well, he wasn't Rin, nor did he know any semblance of magecraft, so for now, it was essentially a good-looking pendant. He hung it around his neck. It was a good object, seeing as it could heal Emiyashiru's heart after he got stabbed by Lancer, so might as well have it on him. Jalter really was his lucky charm. Jalter my queen, please gimme something good, pull. Noble phantasm those who make me lower my head, even once, I pray they all die passive. What the hell is that? Well, it's a noble phantasm so in essence it can't be that bad, no amused. So what's it do? It causes those who force you into bowing to explode. Wow, that's pretty specific. Noah pondered. If some arrogant young master told him to kowtow, then it would be pretty useful. Wait, when it says explode does it mean they die? Depends. So it wasn't that useful after all. How strong is the explosion? C4. Maybe it could be useful. So what's the origin? Takuboku Ishikawa origin, Japan. Damn, another person I have no idea about. Noah complained. The only thing he got that he knew off the bat was Rin's pendant, and that was pretty obvious, seeing as she used that in episode 1. So how many pulls do I have left? 7. Dang that much still. I swear to God so much time passed already. 1 hour has passed since your arrival. Only an hour. Noah sighed. Time was truly in the eye of the beholder. Or something like that. Well, Jalter's been blessing my pulls, so. Jalter my queen, please gimme something good, pull. Noah prayed. Extra skill knowledge of reinforcement magecraft Levvenia Edelvelt. Information was shoved into Noah's head, causing him to grab his head, curling into a ball from the headache. Fortunately, it lasted much shorter than the pain from the sudden activation of magic circuits. Fucking fuck, Noah cursed, massaging his temples. Does everything have to do with absolutely raping my fucking head? Noah protested. I want some human rights. The system does not force the host to pull. Damn your smartass answer, Noah cried. Well, at least he now had some combat ability. Seeing as he now had something to do with his magic circuits. Jalter really becoming in clutch with these pulls. Jalter my queen, please gimme something good, pull. Craft Essence Heroic Spirit Dream Portrait, Billy the Kid. A picture frame appeared in the air and Noah caught it. It was a picture of some random blonde twink in a farm. What the hell am I supposed to do with this? It's a photo. Yeah, I have eyes, lil bro. Does this do anything? No. Quote. Noah sighed. Maybe he could sell it once he made his way to civilization. Jalter, have you forsaken me? Noah kneeled in betrayal. Change. Salter. My queen, please gimme something good. Craft Essence Balloon Scimitar. A deflated balloon appeared in his hands. Noah looked at it in defeat. Et tu, Salter. Well, it was a craft essence. Who knew if it could actually do something? Noah looked for an opening to blow in air. Finding it, he blew as hard as possible, paused, taking deep breaths to breathe in as much air as possible. He blew for a few more minutes, pause. When he finished, he felt lightheaded. God damn, this is a pretty cool looking sword. The clear outer layer had colorful flower stickers on it, as if it was meant for summer. But the sword inside looked pretty mystical. But did this do any damage? He walked up to a nearby tree and swung it. It bounced off. Noah paused, before sighing. Well, at least it looks cool. So, what's the origin? Abigail Williams, Summer, origin, Salem. Damn, I don't know who she is either. Noah complained. He did know about the Salem witch trials, but not anyone named Abigail Williams though. But if she did have a summer variant, she must have been popular. Maybe I shouldn't choose an altar this time. Noah contemplated, then decided. My goat Emiyashuru, please gimme something good, maybe something like Kansho and Byakuya. Craft Essence Fate Grand Carnival 2nd Season. A CD appeared in his hands. Noah glared at the illustration of Jalter and other FGO characters dancing on the CD in disdain. Kill yourself, Emiyashuru. He didn't even have a DVD player. Also, who even had a DVD player these days? It was the age of gods. It would be a miracle if a DVD player even existed. No, I know how Archer felt. Noah couldn't help but sigh. Maybe Emiyashuru wasn't the play. Ishtar. Wait, Ureshkagal better. Ureshkagal my queen, please gimme something good. Stat point large +10 agility. Oh, now this was good. Since my agility was 5, then my agility just tripled. My queen. Noah got on his knees in a pose of prayer. Thank you. I gotta keep this up. Pull. Servant skill Wind of Niflheim B rank. Sheesh, my queen, Ereshkigal. Noah sang, looking at the B-rank servant skill. It sounded powerful. If he remembered correctly, Niflheim was the land of ice and cold in Norse mythology. So it was probably an ice ability. But how did it work? It is an active skill powered by imagery using ambient mana in the atmosphere. The skill didn't even use his mana either. Broken. Noah contemplated. So it was up to imagination. He looked into his memories for some powerful ice skills he could remember. Imagination. He opened his eyes, a serious expression on his face, raising his hands outward with his index and middle finger pointed out, deepening his voice. Bankai. Haka no to game. Immediately, a blast of ice originating from his fingers blasted out, freezing everything in its path, a cold mist emanating from the ice. Holy shit, holy shit, holy shit. Noah jumped around, hyped up. He just did that. He was fucking goated. Wait, he coughed. He just lost aura from that. Just as I expected. Noah deepened his voice once more. This is a brank skill. No fucking shot. Noah observed the ice, poking it. Maybe it was because he was the creator of the ice, but he didn't feel it at all. He could see the cold haze, and even the frost on the grass. God damn, how do I melt it? Noah mulled over it, before giving up. The system said that there wouldn't be any hostile enemies until he finished all the pulls, and he still had one left. Dear God, rather Ereshkigal my queen. I knew you were truly the one for me. Noah mumbled, still admiring the ice that he generated. Well, now that I actually have something to defend myself with, who cares about hostile enemies? Pull. Servant skill furthest earth Kyokuchi A rank. Ah, Noah fell over, grabbing his legs, which were twisting and realigning. Grotesque cracking noises were made. It was much more painful than the sudden activation of his magic circuits. Rolling around on the ground once more, Noah grit his teeth, tears welling up in his eyes, but not falling, cause he wasn't a bitch. EGH. Then all of a sudden, the pain disappeared, as if it never existed. Heavily breathing, Noah slowly rotated his ankles and moved his legs, scared the pain would suddenly return. He slowly got up, fully standing up. Walking around, he realized something. Whoa, why does this feel so smooth? Even though Noah didn't know much about martial arts, he could instinctively feel that he was walking perfectly. No pain, no change in balance, no sound. Everything was perfectly in place. He instinctively knew that no distance was impossible. Noah looked at a decently far away tree. He took a step, immediately arriving at the tree. It was as if instead of going from A to B, he skipped the process entirely. The peak of martial arts. Noah marveled at his legs. What about my agility? Wasn't it supposed to be 15? Noah contemplated. Skills do not scale off stat points. Then what the hell was the point of increasing my stats if I got furthest earth? Noah complained. It was as if the 5 points in agility didn't even matter. Opening square bracket ... Skills that bypass stat points are supposed to be rare. Quote ... Noah got on his knees. I knew you were my true queen, Ereshkigal. Truly a real goddess worthy of worship. He got 2 broken servant skills, and even got another servant skill that he really didn't know the effect of, but who cared? All that mattered was that he was pretty strong. So do I leave the tutorial ground now? Yes. So are you going to finally tell me what world I'm in? High school DxD. Quote ... Noah paused. That sounded familiar. Redhead. Boobies. Perverts. Dragons. Oh. He froze. Are you shitting me? In a world like that, what part of me is broken? I need something like Excalibur to even compare. Noah couldn't help but yell. Transporting. Location. Northern Europe. What the fuck? Not Japan. Immediately Noah's vision changed, as he was suddenly in a snowstorm. Noah blinked in confusion. He looked around. He didn't feel cold, which was the good part, but the bad part was that he had no fucking clue where he was. Also, did he get shorter? You have digged. You motherfucker. What age? 9. Oh you bitch. Noah slumped. Now what? He was 9. He had to double his age before finding any game or else he was a pedo. Rather, even if he was 18 he would still feel like a pedo. Welp, I guess MILFs are on the table. Noah mused, getting up, somehow not feeling wet. It definitely wasn't from the wind of Niflheim. It was probably from Jewel of the Earth. Thank God. Or rather Ereshkigal. Wait. He was praying Jalter during that time. Who cares about the specifics? He walked around, only seeing white. The snow kept piling around him, but for some reason, the snow never touched him, as if the place he was standing was sacred. Damn, this skill is low-key broken. My bad for insulting you, Jalter. I would still like to find some shelter, please. As if the world itself was listening, he could see a rather rundown shack a decent distance away. Using furthest earth, he immediately took a step and arrived at the shack, opening the door to see a young girl hugging herself in a corner, a doll made of ice standing in between her and the door, protecting her. The doll looked at him, weary, while the girl looked frightened by the sudden opening of the door, then her expression changed into an abashed expression, a sudden blush covering her face. She looked down, as if keeping eye contact made her embarrassed. Are my looks that good? Noah inwardly paled. That was a kid. A little girl. He didn't want to get arrested at all. Noah never actually got the chance to look at his face. Wait, he low-key forgot he could create ice. He inwardly sighed. He closed the door, and kept a decent distance from the doll that had its head fixated on him. He imagined a mirror of ice, as a white haze surrounded his hand, an elegant mirror appearing. The girl looked in surprise, but appeared to be too shy to ask anything. Noah looked into the mirror. Was that a woman? With mint green eyes, and bangs above his eyelids, his cascading hair falling down all the way to his ankles, if someone had said that he was a woman, he would wholeheartedly agree. But that was him. I really am a twink, fuck. Noah set down the mirror, before grasping his head in despair. 2. Femboy. Noah paled, laying down in defeat, garnering the curiosity of the girl. The girl crawled over to him. Noah had to admit, she looked pretty similar to him, just with a darker shade of blonde and a lighter shade of eyes. All in all a cute girl. The doll followed her. She looked at Noah's face, worried with a shade of admiration. Are you an angel? She whispered. Noah froze in bewilderment. That didn't sound like English. Why can he understand it? Your speech is automatically translated to every language possible and vice versa. How did that work? Your vessel, Noah, lived before the creation of the Tower of Babel, the origin of languages. Sweet. Did it make him somehow turning into a femboy kind of worth? Hell no it didn't. Why was he even thinking it was worth it in the first place? Noah looked at the girl, and then at the doll behind her. No, just a normal guy. The girl blinked in surprise. You're a guy. He closed his eyes in resignation. Even this random kid thought he was a girl. Shit, yeah, so what's the deal with that creepy ice-looking thing behind you? The girl blinked. You can see the doll. This was the first time anyone could see it. She asked her relatives, and all of them said they saw nothing, branding her as a cursed child. Even she thought she was a cursed child. But this random boy she met with ice powers could see it. Noah nodded. Yeah, that creepy-ass doll behind you is looking at me. So I really am cursed. The girl wilted. The first person other than herself that could see it immediately called it creepy. Nah, I don't think so. Looking at the doll, while it did look creepy, if this was DxD, and while Noah had never seen this character in the anime, it was probably a sacred gear. The girl looked confused. It's probably a sacred gear. Sacred gear. She tilted her head at the unfamiliar term. Yeah, if I remember correctly, it's like a ability made by God to make us puny humans stronger. You know God, right? The girl nodded. Yeah, it's to make us stronger, it isn't a curse. It's made by the guy upstairs. Although I don't know why I can see it. Noah mumbled that last part. If other humans couldn't see it, then she probably didn't have it activated. So how could he see it? Your vessel is one of the few humans closest to God in the Bible, and you can see the supernatural with clarity. Noah inwardly deadpanned. Didn't this bitch say that only his appearance changed? Where are these new abilities he didn't even know he had come from? Such features are a part of Noah's body, not his abilities. Fucking smartass. Noah mumbled. He looked at the girl who looked like her world fell apart. So it wasn't even her fault. Abandoned, called a cursed child and ostracized, and it wasn't even her fault. She couldn't help but curse her relatives and God. If God gave this to her, then why was she abandoned? If God blessed her, then why did her parents die? If God, calm down, lil bro, have a chocolate. Noah pulled out the Hippo-chan craft essence he pulled earlier. The girl blinked in surprise, her train of thought interrupted. She slowly took a piece, observed the eagle-looking chocolate before taking a bite, narrowing her eyes in satisfaction as the sweetness permeated her tongue. Noah looked satisfied with her change in mood. You can have the rest. He slid the box towards her. He wasn't much for sweet things anyways. Really? You're giving this to me? Yeah, so calm down. I don't really know your past, but you probably got ostracized by that doll behind you, yada yada, and now you're here. Just live in the present, or something like that. Don't blame me if your life gets messed up from my advice though. Noah rambled on. He wasn't much for sad moods. Okay. The girl seemed to listen to him. Hey, kids and their emotions. The girl continued eating in silence. An awkward silence. Damn, Noah wasn't much for social interaction at all. He would rather stay home, play games and watch anime, go to the gym, eat, sleep, and repeat. How about introductions? Noah got up from his position. I'll go first. The name's Noah, don't know my last name cause I forgot. I'm 9 years old now, and my favorite food is anything not beans and toast. The girl giggled. My name's Levvenia Rennie, I'm also 9 years old, and my favorite food is my mom's homemade s'more. Levvenia got more quiet at the end of her sentence. Fuck, the mood got bad again. No choice. Noah used his best strategy against this. Changing the subject. So, what are you planning to do now? Noah asked. He didn't even know what part of the plot he was in. While he could probably hunt easy with his furthest earth skill, he still wanted to enjoy modern conveniences. He also didn't know how to cook either. His ideal goal is finding a house and being a shut-in, taking advantage of the free 3 pulls a day to get stronger out of sight. Don't know. Levvenia mumbled. Well then, you want to be part of my crew. Noah proposed. It felt wrong to just leave this random kid here, and if she had a sacred gear, she was probably going to be targeted by some random villains sooner or later. Better for her to be a part of his crew. Levvenia nodded quickly. Even though she had just met Noah, he was the only person nice to her before her parents died, and he even gave her some tasty chocolates. If Noah could read her mind, he would be concerned that giving her tasty chocolates was one of the reasons she agreed. Fortunately, or unfortunately, he didn't. Then since you have an ice doll and I also have ice powers, let's call us the Icy Crew. Levvenia looked at Noah dissatisfied. This man really had no naming sense. What, you don't like it? The pedo bait duo. Levvenia didn't even know what it meant but still frowned. Fine. Absolute Zero. Duo. Absolute Duo. Sounds like a shitty anime name. Noah mumbled. Noah, for all of his greatness, was the type to name his gamer tag Dick Gobbler 69. Ice. Permafrost. Frostbite. Damn, all of these sound edgy as hell. While Noah was still contemplating, Levvenia interjected. What about Winter Duet? Oh, that sounds pretty poetic, Noah complimented, nodding at the name. Well, it wouldn't last that long if someone new joined, but for now it sounded pretty cool. Maybe if there were more people it could be a troupe or something like that. It had potential. Levvenia, you're pretty good at this. Levvenia looked abashed, a blush creeping up her face. Is this kid blushing cause she has a crush, or cause I'm just pretty? Cause I hope it's the latter. Well, at least they had a name. Let's just wait until the snow clears before we look for jobs. Since we both have supernatural abilities we could probably be mercenaries or something like that. But you are just a kid. No, amused. It was just a proposal. After all, Levvenia was still just a kid. I can help. Well, when I know how to use this sacred gear. Levvenia retorted. Also, you're the same age as me. Yeah, as long as you're happy. Noah pat Levvenia's head. It was like having a younger sister. Or maybe it was him adopting a child. I feel like you're insulting me, but I'll let it slide. Levvenia mumbled. What a weird day. She had just gotten kicked out by the last available relative willing to take her in, found a shack but got trapped cause of the snowstorm, then met this random kid who told her that her curse wasn't really a curse. Then after that gave her chocolate and made a mercenary group with her. All in a day's work. It was like a miracle had happened. You have changed the destiny of Levvenia Rennie. You have obtained the achievement Knight of the Ice Princess plus 3 free pulls. Quote. Huh, plus, You may think that this had some relation or like I copied another Fate Gacha fanfic, but I really had no idea about it until I was like halfway through this story. Also, I don't use AI or Grammarly, so if my grammar is shit, my bad bro. If you guys are wondering how the gacha works, I have a wheel with 6 options, but the density is different from the most common to the rarest is stat increase, craft essence, random skill, magecraft knowledge or fighting experience, noble phantasm, and then op ability. For noble phantasm and random skill, I pick a random letter, then out of the skills that start with that letter, I then do another random number generator of the available skills or NP for that letter. For craft essence, I do a random number generator from 1 to 2300 and choose a craft essence from there. For stat increase, I do another wheel from small to large stat increase, then another wheel determining the stat. For magecraft knowledge or fighting experience, I go to the characters page on the wiki, pick a random letter generator, then do a RNG for the person, and just choose a fitting experience from that character. For op ability, I just look around the wiki for some op abilities that aren't game breaking. It's a complete Fate gacha, but I didn't wanna seem like I was copying the other guy using this concept. Since Levvenia is 9, and I don't actually know how old she is in canon, I'll just graciously assume she's 24 when canon starts. So it's 15 years before canon starts. So Rias would be 3, and Kaneko wouldn't even be born RN. Wow, there's actually a lot I can do with this or not much at all. I originally wanted to start when canon started, but that removed like a lot of potential. Also, like most DxD fanfics, this may be harem. Recommendations for girls are appreciated. Plus, current status page of Noah. Noah, vessel. Noah source, Old Testament. Parameters, strength, 5.24 not even F. Endurance, 5.12 not even F. Agility, 15.12 not even F. Mana, 6.00 not even F. Luck, 80.58 B. NP, E. Extra skills, knowledge of reinforcement magecraft Levvenia Edelvelt. Class skills, opening square bracket closing square bracket. Personal skills, Jewel of the Earth A rank. Furthest Earth Kyokuchi A rank. Wind of Niflheim B rank. Noble Phantasm, those who make me lower my head, even once, I pray they all die E rank. Items, Craft Essence Heroic Spirit Dream Portrait, Billy the Kid. Craft Essence Hippo-chan, Craft Essence Balloon Scimitar. Mystic Code Rin's Pendant, Craft Essence Fate Grand Carnival 2nd Season. Plus, A.N., those who make me lower my head, even once, I pray they all die isn't a rated Noble Phantasm, but the strength isn't that strong compared to most Noble Phantasms, so E rank. Comments, reviews, and power stones would be much appreciated. 28 comments 0 vote. Stranger Danger, 3 free pulls. Noah hummed in thought. Also, the achievement Knight of the Ice Princess. This meant that Levvenia really was someone who was relatively important to the plot. So maybe he really did do some good by taking her in his crew, even if there was only 2 people. Who knows, maybe they'll be the next Luffy and Zoro. But it didn't really matter if she was important to the plot anyways, he would have taken her in regardless. Unless of course, she declined. Consent is key. Get it? Consent is key. Let me repeat it one more time. Consent is key. Noah glanced at Levvenia, who was trying to take a nap on the hard floor, changing positions. Oi, if you're uncomfortable, you can just lay on my lap. Levvenia perked up. Really? Noah gestured towards his lap, patting it. Since it was magically enhanced because he got the skill Furthest Earth, the chances of the blood flow cutting off were slim if not non-existent. He didn't want a lap pillow from a child either. Rather be the giver than the receiver. That sounded wrong. Levvenia scuttled over to Noah's thigh, resting her head on it, suddenly self-conscious. I'm not heavy, am I? You're like a tungsten brick. Noah said with a flat voice. It didn't seem to be funny, seeing as Levvenia glared at him before huffing and looking in the other direction. Hey, children. We're the same age, Noah. Levvenia retorted, seemingly more comfortable with him. It was surprising how fast one could get attached to a stranger they just met. She would need lessons regarding stranger danger later. Nah, I'd win. What does that even mean? You'll know when you're older. Damn it. Levvenia mumbled. Language. Levvenia turned her head to glare at Noah. He raised his hands in surrender. My bad homeboy. Also, What year is it? 1993. Though it's kind of weird that you don't know. Noah blinked. 1993. Damn, if this was Fate Zero he could be prepping for the Fourth Holy Grail War right now. Also, didn't canon start in like the late 2000s? Well, he was 9 years old, so he still had a decent amount of time to get some bread and move to Japan, the land of xenophobes, shitty tourists, and anime. Is that so? Noah drawled. Levvenia's voice became more faint, her consciousness ebbing away. Noah waited for a few more minutes, experimenting how detailed he could get with his Wind of Niflheim ability. When Levvenia's breathing became more constant, Noah mulled over the 3 free pulls he got. What, you thought he was going to do something to a child? Go to hell. He was a chronic gambler, not a criminal. Should he wait until midnight struck so he could pull all 6 in a row, or just do the 3 pulls now and do the rest when he woke up? His gambling urges were influencing his body. He needed to pull, now. He was already getting withdrawal symptoms. Just kidding. But Noah was the type to immediately pull once he had the resources, so. He clasped his hands together, closing his eyes in prayer. My dear goddess Ereshkigal, I don't care if it's useless or if it's food. Just please don't make it painful. Pull. Stat point medium +1 luck. Noah hummed. That wasn't bad. Even though luck was the stat he least needed to upgrade, it was still a decent stat. Some luck was better luck than no luck. Look at Lancer from Fate Stay Night, bro died in vain every single time. Pull. Craft Essence Summer's Corruption Set. Noah reacted quickly, grabbing the tray of food and random items before it could slip. The food items were, surprise, meant for summer, a cone of ice cream, a soda, and a parfait. To the side was a beach floaty and a sun umbrella. Noah paused. Damn it, why was it a summer set? He put the items in his inventory other than the already inflated floaty ring, he put it behind his back as a cushion against the wall. He'll probably just hand the food to Levvenia when she wakes up. He'd need to find some toothbrushes though with all the sweets he was feeding her. Well, at least Ereshkigal was listening to his requests. So far, nothing that caused him any pain, and while the food didn't match the season at all, it was still food nonetheless. Truly my goddess, Noah mumbled. Pull. Craft Essence Vestiges of Year 1999. A green, 2-pronged spear appeared in the air, and Noah grasped it. I got a spear from a craft essence. Noah was confused. He wasn't going to complain though. At least he finally had a usable weapon that wasn't a summer toy. It looked and felt pretty solid to him. So where's it from? Chulane Prototype Origin, Ulster Cycle. Finally, a name that he was familiar with. Did this Lancer die as well? He joked. But this didn't seem like the noble phantasm that he had. Wasn't his noble phantasm guy Bolg? The hell is this barf-colored spear supposed to be? A makeshift weapon originating from Fate Prototype, as his master sealed away his noble phantasm because its aesthetics were ugly. The fuck? His homeboy Lancer got nerfed cause of his master. Unlucky man. It's that E-rank luck. Ironically, Prototype CU has D-rank luck. Thankfully he had B-rank luck. While Noah was grateful that he got a useful weapon, with his lack of skills, as in martial ability, it was just a cool-looking poking stick. Well, there was still time until morning happened, so Noah leaned back on the beach floater. Maybe the summer craft essence had some use after all. Before going to bed, Noah froze the door shut, preventing any possible intruders. Noah had originally worried about dispelling the ice, but it seemed that after the ice absorbed the ambient mana stuck in it, it automatically dispelled unless Noah set a timer, in which they would absorb the surrounding mana instead. Thank God both Noah and Levvenia had a natural resistance towards the cold. What a random first day. Plus, hey, Noah, he could feel a poking on his face. Waving his hand around to ward off Levvenia's hand, he slowly opened his eyes, squinting, before fully opening his eyes. What? He groggily responded, looking around confused. Well, I originally wanted to ask where you got that beach floaty, but someone knocked on the door earlier. Now that was something. Do you know who it is? Did you open the door? Fully awake, Noah got up quickly, putting the beach floaty back in the inventory. No, the door was frozen shut. She shook her head, blinking at the sudden disappearance of the beach floaty. Did they try to enter? Levvenia hummed as if trying to remember. They asked if I could open the door, and I tried to open it, but it wouldn't budge, so I told them that I would ask you instead. Then they said they would return in 30 minutes. Quote. Are you stupid? Noah looked at Levvenia dumbfounded. Why are you opening doors for people you don't even know? Levvenia had the decency to be embarrassed about it. It was 'cause I just woke up 'cause of the knocking. You know. Noah sighed into his hands like a tired dad. Did they have any distinguishable sounds, like their gender and stuff? Well, since I could only hear through the wall, I only know it sounds like an old woman. Levvenia closed her eyes as if rewinding her memories, but she sounded kind. Noah sighed into his hands again. An old woman in the middle of the woods with a shit ton of snow surrounding them from all sides. Noah would bet his left nut that she was probably a part of the supernatural. But the problem was if she was a good person or not. Either way he wouldn't be joining. He didn't want to be tied down to anything. Levvenia was different. She was a part of his crew. Levvenia, have you ever heard of the saying, be weary of the women, children, and the elderly? Noah got in an explaining pose. No. Levvenia tilted her head in innocence. Well, in areas where it doesn't make any sense for them to be there, it's good to be weary of them. Noah massaged his temples. Look, we're in the middle of the literally nowhere with snow surrounding us, and you're saying an old woman walked all the way here. Levvenia froze. She could feel her face heating up from her previous thoughts of her being kind. I'm not blaming you, since you didn't really have anyone to teach you this, but just remember the saying. Levvenia nodded. At least Noah gave her a good excuse for her ignorance. She's probably a part of the supernatural. And seeing as she didn't break in, she probably wants to leave a good impression. This leads to two possibilities. Noah thought out loud, so Levvenia could glean from his knowledge. Either she's actually kind, or she wants us for something. Just making sure. Levvenia. Does her voice sound familiar? Levvenia shook her head. That means she probably isn't a relative, and if you haven't met her, then it's probably the latter. Quote. Oh, you just discovered that you had a sacred gear just yesterday, right? But you've been telling that you've seen the doll to people you've met, so it probably got around. Noah assumed. But we can't rule out her actually being nice. Maybe we can get some free money from her. Noah hummed in thought. So, are we opening the door? Noah nodded. After all, with his furthest earth skill, unless the enemy could continuously teleport while fighting, then it was impossible to catch up to him. So if the enemy did use force, he could just carry Levvenia and dip. Or if she was weak enough, he could just spam the wind of Niflheim. He looked at the description yesterday, and saw that the temperature could reach temperatures near absolute zero. Also, he had 3 more free pulls, so he could get some useful skills from there as well. She's coming back probably in 10 minutes, so we just have to wait. Quote. Is there a chance we're going to fight? Noah nodded. But don't worry if you can't materialize your sacred gear. We can just run away. I'm fast. Levvenia wanted to help, but so far only Noah and herself could see the doll. I think I know how to activate a sacred gear, but since we don't have time we'll do it after this passes. Noah said, as if reading Levvenia's mind. Levvenia nodded. She could finally be of help and prove her relatives wrong. Now was the opportunity. He just had to pray to Ereshkigal that he would get something to boost his general capabilities. A day has passed. Plus 3 free pulls. Noah clasped his hands. Levvenia looked confused. He pointedly looked at her. Follow my lead. I get stronger with luck. Trust. While Levvenia looked skeptical, if Noah got stronger it was better for the both of them. Now repeat after me. Levvenia nodded. My lovely goddess Ereshkigal, please gimme something good. Levvenia paused. What did he just say? She blinked in confusion. You heard what I said. Noah interrupted her thoughts, his face flat with seriousness. My lovely goddess Ereshkigal. Please give Noah something good. Her face felt hot. Noah nodded in satisfaction. Pull, he whispered. Noble Phantasm Doomsday Come X rank. I'm not even joking, this came up. Letter D, number 26. Noah paused. He looked at the Noble Phantasm, his eyes widened. Holy X rank. Levvenia, you really are my lucky charm. Noah picked up Levvenia and spun her around, causing her to squeal in surprise. Eek, let me down, she cried out. Noah couldn't hear her over the sounds of victory. Who cared what the Noble Phantasm actually did? It was fucking X rank. It's immeasurable. After a minute he set her down, causing her to stabilize herself. She gave Noah a glare, but he ignored it. What's it do? The noble phantasm Doomsday Come creates a bounded field with the user as its origin point and creates a pseudo-underworld, where the effect depends on the user's impression. So it's like a movable reality marble? In a sense, yes. Damn, this was broken as hell. So if he believed that his underworld was a world where his enemies were dead, then they would die. Yes, but it can't be that specific. It's not your outer thoughts that determines the effect, it's your inner thoughts. Well, that made sense. What servant could even have this broken-ass noble phantasm? The Pale Rider from Fate, Strange Fake. Also known as the Horseman of Death or Pestilence. Whoa, what is happening in Fate, Strange Fake for a Horseman of the Apocalypse to appear? But good for him, at this point there was literally nothing to fear. Absolutely nothing. The only possible downside is that it had the possibility of being indiscriminate except him, so he couldn't use it with Levvenia around. After all, even he didn't know what he inwardly believed half the time. But who cared about the backlash? He had to keep riding this high. Pull. Craft Essence Heroic Spirit Formal Dress, Marie Antoinette. A black dress appeared his hands, causing both Noah and Levvenia to stop thinking. What the fuck is this? Noah held the black fabric in his hands. As it materialized in his hands, he didn't know what it looked like unless he held it out. As he held the shoulder straps and let it down, it revealed a long black dress on the sides and the front was a short skirt, with the shoulders revealed. While it was a good-looking dress, it ultimately showed way too much skin for how small it was. Not wanting to look like a pervert, he immediately put it in his inventory the moment he realized it was women's clothing. He ignored Levvenia's reaction. It's random. I don't decide what I get, so stop looking at me like that. Noah plainly said, not keeping eye contact as Levvenia was looking at him like he was scum. Well, the scales have to balance out, so a dress he would never use was a good trade for a fucking X-rank noble phantasm. Pull. Class skill riding D rank. Quote. Well, at least I got my original class skill. No, amused. The higher rank versions of the riding skill allowed the user to know how to use any vehicle with expertise. Look at Saber with her motorcycle. He didn't get much time to contemplate it, as it seemed the old woman came back, with no footstep sounds no less. Welp, if he really needed to use his newfound noble phantasm, then he could dip with Levvenia, then come back and finish her off, and then go back to Levvenia. Knock knock. Plus, while I don't like Mac being broken so fast, I kind of nerfed the Doomsday Come, seeing as I don't know much other than its example in Fate's Strange Fake. Also, this chapter is uber short. It's still 2,000 words though. Having motivation to make 5k word chapters is crazy work. Power stones, comments, and reviews would be appreciated. Plus, current status page of Noah. Noah, vessel. Noah source, Old Testament. Parameters, strength, 5.24 not even F. Endurance, 5.12 not even F. Agility, 15.12 not even F. Mana, 6.00 not even F. Luck, 81.58B. NP, X, extra skills, knowledge of reinforcement Magecraft Levvenia Edelvelt. Class skills, class skill riding D rank. Personal skills, Jewel of the Earth A rank. Furthest Earth Kyokuchi A rank. Wind of Niflheim B rank. Noble Phantasm, those who make me lower my head, even once, I pray they all die E rank. Noble Phantasm Doomsday Come X rank. Items. Craft Essence Heroic Spirit Dream Portrait, Billy the Kid. Craft Essence Hippo-chan, used. Craft Essence Balloon Scimitar. Mystic Code Rin's Pendant. Craft Essence Fate Grand Carnival 2nd Season. Craft Essence Vestiges of Year 1999. Craft Essence Summer's Corruption Set. Craft Essence Heroic Spirit Formal Dress, Marie Antoinette. 12 comments 0 vote. Sit humbled. You are weak. Quote. As the ice covering the door melted, Noah gestured for Levvenia to stay out of sight, seeing as hypnosis magic or suggestion magecraft seemed to be a staple in these cases. Opening the door, Noah came face to face to a by-the-book definition of what a witch would look like, paired with the robe and that pointy-ass hat. The witch was also surprised to see Noah, possibly expecting to see someone who sounded like Levvenia did. The fuck are you knocking on my door for, McGonagall? Noah narrowed his eyes, looking at the witch. Quote. Pardon. Dumbledore. Harry Potter. The witch still had a somewhat confused expression. Brother. Noah involuntarily sighed, massaging his temples. Ahem. The witch coughed into her hand, trying to change the flow of conversation that Noah had completely derailed. So, why are you knocking on my door in the middle of nowhere? You aren't going to take me and research my abilities or something, right? Noah narrowed his eyes, his gaze fixated on the witch in front of him. To the witch's credit, she didn't flinch. No, what are you even talking about? Her eyebrow raised, she looked at Noah like she was looking at a rather special person. Then sorry grandma, we're not going anywhere. Shoo, shoo. Noah ignored the grandma and gave a waving gesture, moving to close the door. Before the door closed all the way, a thin bare bones hand stopped it. Wait, where is the young lady that I was conversing with 30 minutes ago? I would wish to talk to her. So it seemed that this witch really was targeting Levvenia's sacred gear. Well, Noah already guessed that. His paranoid ass combined with knowledge of tropes that he probably shouldn't be referencing, seeing as this was his life now. Sorry, but I killed her. You may leave now before I kill you too. Noah dismissed her. Quote. You're lying. She's hiding in this shack. Noah raised an eyebrow. And what are you planning to do with that information? I heard that an abandoned child was here while walking around, and if she had talent in magic I was planning to nurture her. And where did you get this information? This bitch wasn't trustworthy at all. Maybe Levvenia would follow her without a thought, but with his experience, anyone who comes out of nowhere offering you a chance to learn magic was sus as hell. It was like a scam email. From the nearby town, Noah sighed. It seemed this bitch would just gave vague answers until he relented. Sorry, but as the girl's guardian, I say, fuck off. Noah shook his head in disapproval. You're too old looking and you look suspicious as fuck. However, the witch had the patience of Buddha. I just want to help her. If you want to help her, then give me some money. That'd be plenty of help. Noah held out his hands. We don't need your voodoo bullshit. That made the witch pause. She had come here from descriptions of a possible Longinus, but this brat was blocking all of her attempts to get a chance to verify it. Maybe she should just use suggestion magic. Just as that thought appeared, Noah was thinking of blasting her away with a bankai. If she was supposed to be kind, where's his cash? She seemed tolerant until now. Well, the people who seem nice were the most suspicious. Akame ga kill. The ones who know. And if they were in the middle of nowhere, it probably didn't matter if he killed her, right? But her backers. Old hag, I'll consider it if you answer this question correctly. The witch blinked. A sudden change in mind. What faction are you a part of? She raised an eyebrow. While you probably have no idea, I am the witch of the south of the Wizards of Oz, Glenda. What group was that? Noah had no clue. That meant she was fine to kill, right? If she was similar to a magus, she definitely had some skeletons in her closet anyways. Karma, am I right? Noah nodded in contemplation. He raised his head, raising his right hand in a gun pose. Bang! Glenda's entire face was hit with ice in an instant, jagged spikes stabbing into her face, her head popping like a balloon, but instead of blood, the body cracked like it was a wooden doll. No blood, huh? Noah observed as Glenda's body went slack. Is this bitch supposed to be Aozuki Tuko? Levvenia, we're heading out. From the corner she was standing in, Levvenia stood up and made her way to Noah. Did you really have to kill her? Noah just shrugged. Just a gut feeling. She didn't die though, look. No blood. He pointed at the now broken body on the ground. Levvenia froze, her worry absolutely useless. Why didn't you tell me earlier? Another shrug. Skill issue. Now what does that even mean? You'll know when. Noah started, but was immediately cut off by Levvenia. We're the same age. This kid was learning. Well, you know the nearest city and the direction. Levvenia shook her head. Then where the hell was he supposed to run? Well, with his speed, as long as he ran south, he could probably reach a city sooner or later. Picking Levvenia up in a princess carry, ignoring her yelp, Noah immediately ran in a random direction. He could figure out where the fuck south was later. Well, we got Grandma Diddy after us, and we have no idea what she can do. Noah mused, speeding out of the shack. With his skill furthest earth, the ultimate way of walking, holding on to Levvenia, even though it felt like he was just taking a stroll, he was traversing hundreds of meters with a single step, his surroundings changing with every step he took. No wind resistance, no loss of stamina. Levvenia was bracing for wind resistance, but felt like something was missing. Where was the wind? She slowly opened her eyes, looking at Noah in confusion. Noah, why are you just walking? She trailed off, watching as the surroundings were morphing like they were skipping frames in a video, new scenery disappearing as soon as it was seen. Noah looked down at Levvenia, who looked flabbergasted. Levvenia blinked, before looking away in embarrassment. Never mind. Noah chortled. In just 10 steps he probably traversed more than a kilometer already. Arriving at a mountain peak, he looked around for any signs of civilization. Unfortunately, he saw nothing other than, surprise, white. White here, white there, white everywhere. What the hell? He looked at the sky, seeing as the sun rises in the west and sets in the east or something like that, maybe he could reference the sun. Well, what do you know? White clouds. While he was thinking, he could hear a change in his surroundings. Looking back down, he saw Glenda. Well, look who we have here. GACHA. Unlike her previous kind facade, Glenda had an expression marred with frustration. Fine, I'll just kill you and take the girl. You're a villain, who knew? Wow, so surprising. Noah's voice was flat. Now holding Levvenia with one hand, lugging over his shoulder, ignoring Levvenia's indignant cry, Noah raised his free hand, pointing a finger gun at Glenda. Bang! A stream of condensed ice shot out, but unlike the first time, Glenda raised her staff and teleported a short distance to the side. An ice-type sacred gear. I don't see any formulas or magic circles. She mumbled, teleporting away to dodge another shot by Noah. How about a truce? Give me the girl and I'll spare your life. While Glenda looked confident, consecutively using a high computational spell like Blink without making a mistake took a large toll in her mana reserves, and the kid looked like he wasn't even breaking a sweat. Nah GACHA, Levvenia stays with me. And shouldn't you be worrying about yourself? Another ice shot. Instead of teleporting away, Glenda attempted to counter with a fireball as it used less mana, but seeing the ice ignore it like it didn't even exist, she belatedly tried to physically move away, causing a small gash to appear on her face. Noah noticed the blood. Hey, so this is your real body? Does teleporting take so much from you? He teased. You, Glenda yelled in anger. Sorry, what did you say? I can't hear betas. Glenda clenched her staff as if she was trying to break it. Without any prompting, a spear of ice much faster than his previous attempt sped towards Glenda, catching her off guard. Her eyes widened. He didn't have to do the motion. Glenda quickly rose her staff to counter it, but with the element of surprise along with the speed, it blew off her left arm, the stump automatically freezing over from the cold haze emanating from the ice spear. Her face contorted in pain, instinctively dropping her staff-wielding hand to grasp at her stump, but Noah sent another ice spear towards her legs, cutting both of them off. Glenda fell due to the lack of walking apparatuses to stand with, her face twisted in a permanent expression of agony. Yo, calm the fuck down. Noah complained, pointing a finger at Glenda. What the hell? This bitch was weak as shit. He didn't even have to use his noble phantasm. Glenda looked at Noah with an expression of utter hatred, screaming. I'll kill you. I'll kill you. What's happening, Noah? Levvenia asked, jump-scared by the sudden increase in volume. Nothing. It's PG-15. Maybe when you get older. He could imagine Levvenia's pout from behind him. Noah looked at Glenda with a flat expression. After all, she was no longer a threat. She no longer had the street cred to talk to the strongest guy on the block, not that she had the street cred in the first place, nor was this white hell a block. Sit humbled. You are weak. Noah looked down at Glenda like she was just a bug on the road. Glenda didn't say anything, glaring at him. She was whispering something he couldn't hear, but it sounded like she was trying to escape or maybe a contingency plan. Unfortunately for her, he had a hard counter. Immediately, Noah walked a decent distance away using furthest earth, placing Levvenia down and making a makeshift ice igloo. I'll be back in like 1 minute. Without giving Levvenia a chance to respond, he disappeared, appearing back on the mountain. Yo GACHA, you probably have a lot of contingency plans on escaping, so I'll just destroy your soul. No harsh feelings. Glenda looked at him in fury, but she could feel a sense of dread coming from the boy, causing her to pause. Hey, Noah looked at Glenda like she was pathetic. He raised his hand. Noble phantasm. Doomsday come. Instantly the surroundings changed from white to black. Sorry, Did he? But my version of the afterlife today seems to be a grim reaper taking your soul. Unlucky. It could have been heaven. While he could only use it for a few seconds due to his lack of mana, a few seconds was all he needed. In front of Glenda, a floating skeleton appeared in rags as dark as the night sky. In its hands was a rusted scythe that emanated death. Glenda instinctually knew that the scythe she was looking at would be her end. Her methods of cheating death by changing vessels or creating puppets wouldn't work. She understood that if that blade touched her, she would be erased from existence. She turned pale. Wait, I can give you money. You asked for money, right? I can give you all the money you want. I don't even need the girl. Please spare my life. Noah shook his head, an amused smile across his face. How pathetic. She could have just done this earlier. The Grim Reaper swung down its blade, slashing through Glenda. Her cries died. With his chronic lack of mana, Noah suddenly felt a wave of exhaustion, but his feet were steady. Hey, he couldn't help but laugh. Shit was too easy. Defeated the Witch of the South Glenda. You have obtained the achievement Defeat of the Yellow Brick Road +1 free pull. Killed the Witch of the South Glenda. You have obtained the achievement Death of the Yellow Brick Road +3 free pulls. Killed an important person in the original life of Levvenia Rennie. You have obtained the achievement Destiny Entanglement Levvenia Rennie Part 1 +1 free pull. Oh, 5 free pulls for killing G. Did he? At least his fight was worth it. He made his way to Levvenia, who looked worried, but jumped when he suddenly appeared. Yo, Levvenia sighed in relief, before frowning. Why'd you leave me? The thing I was going to kill her with was indiscriminate, what do you want me to do? Noah drawled, causing Levvenia to pause in thought. Quote. So she's dead. Noah nodded. Levvenia sighed in relief but with a faint sense of guilt. The grandma really did seem like a kind person. Well, since we left the shack, how about we have some snacks? Noah pulled out an ice cream and a parfait. Levvenia froze at the sudden appearance of the food. He had gave her chocolates yesterday, and today was ice cream and a parfait. Was he obsessed with sweets or something? I know what you're thinking, but it was like me getting that random dress yesterday. Trust. Noah gave Levvenia a deadpan. Noah wasn't much for sweet things, and the food that he took out looked like it was dripping syrup. He shivered, just thinking of the taste. Noah hadn't had anything to eat, so he was hoping he could get something good that wasn't the materialization of pure sugar. Levvenia rose an eyebrow at his expression. Do you want me to pray to that goddess again? You read my mind. Noah kneeled down, and Levvenia put her ice cream and parfait in the snow before following suit. My lovely goddess Ereshkigal, please gimme something good. My lovely goddess Ereshkigal, please give Noah something good. Pull. Noble Phantasm Flucticulus Diana C. Rank. A noble phantasm. Ereshkigal really is his goddess. A weapon didn't appear, so he didn't really know what it did, and he didn't feel pain, so he'd just pull the next one. He didn't want Levvenia kneeling for too long. Pull. Stat point small +0.1 strength. Noah clicked his tongue, before backtracking. Stat point increases should actually be normal, it was just cause he was lucky. Pull. 3 magic circuits of C rank quality +3.00 mana. Immediately, he felt like his bones turned into a heated iron rod. Noah tensed up his entire body, clenching his teeth. Better not to worry Levvenia. Thankfully, because of the lesser quality and quantity, the pain wasn't as bad, but it still hurt like a bitch nonetheless. Noah grit his teeth. Pull. Craft Essence Artisan's Mochi. Before it could even spawn, Noah immediately shoved it in his inventory. It was an item. Pull. Stat point medium +1 strength. Noah sighed. Did he spend all the luck Ereshkigal could give him? Seeing Noah get up from his kneeling position to a sitting position, Levvenia followed, picking up her ice cream and parfait. Did you get something good? Noah shook his head. While getting a noble phantasm was good, he could instinctively tell that it was another mana drainer. At that point he could just use the Doomsday Come Noble Phantasm instead. What's the origin of Flucticulus Diana? Caligula origin. Ancient Roman Empire. The Roman Empire. Did he see him in the Roman Empire singularity? The only thing he really paid attention to was the UMU woman. If it's C rank, then it was rather mediocre, wasn't it? Or was he just spoiled from all the good rolls he got previously? What's it do? Wide range mental pollution attack. Noah sighed into his hands. So it was useless. What was he going to do? Fight a war? The only other thing was artisan's mochi and he barely gave that a second glance. But since it was mochi then it was another fucking sweet. Levvenia, back up for a second, I'm going to summon some food. He took the craft essence out of the inventory, and a hot Japanese brazier appeared, with 2 pieces of visually appealing mochi that looked so tasty to the point that even he had to swallow his saliva down. There's a brazier along with the food. It was like a buy one get one free. Levvenia gulped down the last of her parfait. How was she eating that fast, and looked at the mochi, transfixed. Pause. Before Levvenia could reach out, Noah stopped her. You just ate an ice cream and parfait. This is mine. Levvenia looked heartbroken. Hey, that isn't fair, that was cold food, this is warm food. There's a difference. Noah clicked his tongue. He sighed. Then let's make a deal. If there's another food that I want, you won't take it. That made Levvenia pause. Even though the mochi looked tantalizing, what if the next food that Noah wanted was even better? She could tell that Noah didn't like sweet things, seeing the unhidden disgust he had when he looked at the sweets, so she would probably get all the sweets. Levvenia begrudgingly backed off, just extending her hands to feel the warmth of the Japanese brazier. Noah nodded in satisfaction. Picking up a mochi, he took a bite, long with a crunch from its caramelized exterior, the interior stretched out like it was cheese. A burst of salty and savory flavor entered his mouth. Seeing as this was the only thing he ate in the past day, this was like ambrosia. He hummed in contentment, ignoring Levvenia's envious expression. Finishing off the food, Noah took back the brazier into his inventory to Levvenia's dismay. Hey! Noah raised an eyebrow. Partner, we have to find civilization. We can't just stay here waiting for God knows what. He looked at her exasperatedly. That shut Levvenia up. Noah picked her up in a princess carry, before walking up another mountain. He looked around for any sense of smoke, lights, anything. If this was 1993, what even happened in 1993? He was a classic Gen Z motherfucker. For all he knew, dinosaurs were still roaming the earth. Hey, Levvenia. Levvenia hummed in response. What country are we in? Ukraine. Ah, that war-struck country. Well, it wasn't the 2020s, so maybe not right now. If he was in Ukraine, then that meant he was in mainland Europe. Noah walked to a cave, before putting Levvenia down. What happened to looking for civilization? Levvenia looked confused. It was still bright outside, so why was he taking a break? Look, I don't even know west from south. Let's at least wait until the clouds are gone. Noah explained. He wanted to go south and didn't want to accidentally go north. Levvenia nodded. Then what's for dinner? Noah froze. He wasted all his possible free pulls and no longer had any food other than a can of soda, and that was a fucking drink. He sighed, before making his way out of the cave. Where are you going? Hunting. Then do I just wait here? Noah nodded. He covered the entrance with ice, leaving some space at the top for ventilation, and had already cleared out the inside of the cave. I'll try and teach you how to activate your sacred gear when I come back. Low-key forgot about that, Noah added, causing Levvenia's mood to increase. She could finally be of help. Plus, 2, I'm sorry. Noah kneeled down, looking at the white rabbit that walked up to him curiously. This was definitely because of his Jewel of the Earth skill. Looking at the adorable rabbit just looking at him. It had to die for him. I'm sorry, little one. Noah pointed a finger gun at it. The least I can do is make it painless. A needle of ice pierced the rabbit's head, and the rabbit went limp. Wiping his eyes, Noah's expression changed from sad to excited. Well, there's the food for today. Bless my Jewel of the Earth skill. Daily quest 1/3 completed. Hunt 1 animal plus 1 free pull. Noah froze. Daily quest. When was this a thing? He could have done this yesterday and got extra pulls. From the 1/3, it meant that he could do 3 quests a day, 3 more free pulls a day. Why the hell didn't you tell me this earlier? The system had notified that host can get more pulls by completing quests or completing achievements when it had first booted. Quote. I don't know about that. Noah hummed, looking away from the screen. How embarrassing. Well, then what's all the daily quests I can do? Quick. Daily quests. Refreshes at 11:59 p.m. Daily quest hunt 1 animal plus 1 free pull completed. Daily quest make a fire using wood plus 1 free pull incomplete. Daily quest talk to Levvenia Rennie for 2 hours plus 1 free pull incomplete progress, 12 minutes remaining. Weekly quest. Refreshes at 11:59 p.m., Sunday. Weekly quest make the equivalent of 20 United States dollars plus 2 free pulls incomplete. Warning. Quests increase in difficulty depending on host circumstances. The other 2 daily quests were easy to accomplish, but the weekly quest, he didn't even have anyone to talk to, let alone sell any products. He would have to give up the weekly quest unless he found civilization, and even then, with 2 young and cute bleg children, some unsavory people might target them. Wait, couldn't he just counter-jump them instead? Noah nodded as if he decided on a plan. He looked at the dead rabbit, before materializing an ice kitchen knife. Plus, the fire-making daily quest was easier than he thought. He just got a dry-looking twig and put it in a brazier and the daily quest was completed. So did you catch anything? Noah nodded, showing off his attempt at butchering a rabbit. Levvenia looked at it with disgust. What is that? A rabbit. What? Levvenia blinked. That monstrosity was a rabbit. What did Noah do? Torture it? She gave an exasperated expression. Did you use a knife? Noah created the knife he used to attempt to butcher it, showing it to Levvenia. Levvenia looked at it dumbfounded. Why are you using a classic kitchen knife to butcher an animal? Levvenia picked up the stick that still had some ashes on the end and drew on the floor. Make me a knife that looks like this. My dad taught me how to butcher a rabbit. A 9-year-old learned how to butcher a rabbit. Noah thought, incredulous, but still followed Levvenia's instructions and made a more suitable knife. Noah watched as Levvenia methodically and accurately cut into the rabbit, changing from what seemed to be a torture victim into an actual piece of meat they could eat. Levvenia even drained the blood and removed the intestines. I need a kitchen knife now. She raised her hands, looking at Noah pointedly. Yes, ma'am. Placing a kitchen knife in her hands, Levvenia quickly cut it into small cubes so they could place it on top of the brazier. This craft essence was way more useful than Noah had imagined it would be. After she finished, the 2 gobbled up the tender hair meat as if they were being chased. Damn, this is fire, Noah hummed. It was his first actual taste of meat paws in a long time. Levvenia nodded, her mouth stuffed with food. Since they were still children, there was leftovers that Levvenia decided to smoke and make into jerky. After they finished, the 2 sat in front of each other. So, I told you I'll tell you how to activate your sacred gear, right? I don't have very good memory, but from what I remember, think of the strongest existence you can imagine, and copy it. I could be wrong. You can already see your sacred gear, so all you need is a strong desire to activate it. Noah bullshitted. After all, he hadn't watched this show in fucking forever. But it sounded correct. But Levvenia nodded in all seriousness. She stood up and raised her arm, concentrating her imagery, before manipulating her fingers into a finger gun. She pointed it at Noah, and whispered. Bang! *WOOOSH. Her doll materialized behind her, and since Noah could see it originally, the only change was that he could feel the wind blowing from the energy emanating from the doll. He smiled. Congrats. Inwardly, he was relieved. Thank God he was right. Also, the strongest existence she could think of was himself. Noah hummed with a smile on his face, like a proud dad. The doll stood there for a few more minutes, as Levvenia tried to control its movement, and eventually Levvenia felt tired, her steps unsteady. As she was about to fall, Noah caught her, watching the doll dematerialize. He heard her deep and constant breathing. Unconscious. Well, it made sense seeing as she was only 9 years old. The only reason his ice abilities didn't affect him was cause it didn't even use his mana or vitality. Looking at the dematerialized doll, Noah had no idea what the name was. But it looked pretty strong. He would even go as far as to say it could be one of the 13 Longinus. Even though he only knew of the boosted gear, divine dividing, true Longinus, and that was it. Maybe Levvenia's sacred gear was one of the 13 that he didn't know about. But since she was asleep, he now had 3 pulls to do. Noah set Levvenia's head on his lap, before pulling out a floaty to rest his back on. Ereshkigal had forsaken him, or he used all the luck that she could give him. So who should he ask? My glorious Emperor Nero, please bless me with something good. Noah whispered. Pull. Noble Phantasm Fairy Sword Galatine Weapon. Noah held out his hands to a sword materializing in his hands. While Galatine was in the name, it didn't really feel like Excalibur Galatine. Fairy sword. Oh, Was this from the British Lost Belt? While he didn't play all the way up to the Lost Belts, he did know about it because of how critically acclaimed the story was. He had even searched up the servants there, cause their character designs were peak cough Morgan cough. Who had Excalibur Galatine again? Ah, it was Gawain. So this is probably Fairy Knight Gawain's sword. But where was the energy? While it resembles Excalibur Galatine, it is just one of Barghest's modified horns. Noah froze. So this wasn't even the fucking sword. It's just an extra hard sword. It had no special abilities since he wasn't even Barghest. How useless. While it had the Noble Phantasm moniker, it was just a pointy blade. He put it into his inventory. It was like Siyu's craft essence. A weapon that was useless to him cause he had no martial abilities to speak of. Well, at least it looked pretty cool. The only silver lining it had. Pull. Guaranteed op ability card. ... What? In the Type Moon Gacha system, there is a small chance of the character getting an OP ability card, which is a guaranteed overpowered ability with a 100% chance of getting an X rank stat increase, skill, Noble Phantasm, and experience. Oh, let's fucking go. Noah whisper yelled, shadowboxing but making sure Levvenia didn't wake up. Use card. Servant skill protection of the Faith X rank. Oh, wait, it was guaranteed. What am I excited about? Noah mumbled. He could feel a refreshing feeling entering his body and mind. Was this some sort of energy drink put into a skill? Detecting mental degeneration. Removing mental degeneration. Replacing with minor mental suggestion. Quote ... What? Oi, what mental degeneration are you talking about? Noah whisper yelled. He was already pretty mentally retarded. What was he supposed to do if it got even worse? Original purpose. Unfailing fanaticism in God. New purpose. Favor towards people with pure belief. Oh shit, I almost got hit by the Scientology beam. Noah paled. He almost become one of those people who walked up and asked, do you believe in a higher power? And hand out leaflets. Originally, this is impossible, but due to the death of God in high school DxD, change in purpose was made. Thank fucking God. Noah mumbled before pausing. Wait, he's dead. Thank Nero. Most X abilities have a drawback. It could have been worse. That's true. Imagine if he got a Midsummer Night's Dream. That shit was just a curse and a half. Wait, you said it's from God. Which servant is this from? Noah origin. Old Testament. Damn, it was his own body. He almost got fucked over by himself. If this is the drawback, what does this even do? You receive blessings from the Supreme Being. However, because in DxD God is dead, the skill siphons off the unused aspect of God's system to boost your abilities and make you more effective against enemies with the evil alignment. That was actually pretty good. Never mind, Noah, you've been my homie all the way. Though what did the system mean by boosting abilities? Every stat and skill is increased by 1 letter, and against the evil alignment it is increased by 2 letters, with a max of A+++. ... Excuse me, the fuck? Noah blinked. Who cared if he was about to get hit with the Scientology beam? He was broken. He didn't feel stronger, but it felt like he just chugged 2 liters of pure caffeine. Maybe he could test it out later when day hit. Welp, last one. Pull. Extra skill knowledge of illusion magecraft. Illusions so real that the world believes it. Merlin X rank. The sudden implant of information entered his brain, causing him to bite his lip in pain, grasping his head. Holy fuck. Unlike Levvia's knowledge of reinforcement magecraft, it was like someone took a drill, put it to his head, drilled out a hole, and then put in a fucking blowtorch. It took all of his mental energy to not bang his head on a wall. After a few seconds it passed, but Noah was still breathing heavily. Fucking dick wizard. Now having the knowledge of someone comparable to a magician, Noah unconsciously knew that this shit was a higher mana drainer than all of his noble phantasms combined. What use was this garbage? Host now has 3 X rank roles. In order to enforce fairness, lowering daily pull count to 1 free pull. What the fuck? Take this shit back. He didn't need it. Plus, I placed Glenda at high ultimate class. This is cause I would say she's equal to Augusta, and she lost to grown-up Levvenia, who is below Seraphal, who's a Satan class. So Levvenia is mid-ultimate class during that time. Also, I nerfed his gacha cause I thought he was getting a little too strong, even when I'm not rigging the pulls. Also, damn does it take a shit ton of time to write 5,000 words. I might just cap it at like 2000 starting next chapter. This took me a solid 5 hours to write. Comments, reviews, and power stones are always appreciated. I have an idea of the next girl, even if she's not going to join Noah and Levvenia. Plus, current status page of Noah. Noah, vessel. Noah source, Old Testament. Parameters, strength, 6.34 50 EPOTF not even F. Endurance, 5.12 50 EPOTF not even F. Agility, 15.12 50 EPOTF not even F. Mana, 9.00 50 EPOTF not even F. Luck, 81.58 90 APOTF B. NP, X, extra skills, knowledge of reinforcement magecraft Levvenia Edelvelt. Knowledge of illusion magecraft, illusions so real that the world believes it, Merlin X rank. Class skills, class skill riding D rank. Personal skills. Jewel of the Earth A rank. Furthest Earth Kyokuchi A rank. Wind of Niflheim B rank. Protection of the Faith X rank. Noble Phantasm. Those who make me lower my head, even once, I pray they all die E rank. Doomsday Come X rank. Flucticulus Diana C rank. Fairy Sword Galatine Weapon. Items. Craft Essence Heroic Spirit Dream Portrait, Billy the Kid. Craft Essence Hippo-chan used. Craft Essence Balloon Scimitar. Mystic Code Rin's Pendant. Craft Essence Fate Grand Carnival 2nd Season. Craft Essence Vestiges of Year 1999. Craft Essence Summer's Corruption Set. Craft Essence Heroic Spirit Formal Dress, Marie Antoinette. Craft Essence Artisan's Mochi. Noble Phantasm Fairy Sword Galatine Weapon. 18 comments 0 vote. Noah the Slayer. Noah held his head in his hands, before rubbing his hands on his face in stress. His free 3 pulls. He just should have waited until 12 AM passed. Fucking ballsack. Even trying to apply Merlin's magecraft would probably drain his soul out his body. Even Gilgamesh was drained dry, and he was a demigod for God's sake. Even with his increase in mana from the protection of the faith, his mana stat was at a solid E, not nearly comparable to Gilgamesh. Damn it that Dick Wizard screwed him over. The only silver lining is the quest rewards didn't change. That was still 3 pulls a day. So it was just from his possible 6 a day to 4 a day. That was still 1 more than before he discovered daily quests. Achievements were random as hell, so that wasn't a reliable source of pulls. Yeah. Was he huffing copium? Probably. Sighing, Noah leaned back on the floaty closing his eyes to go to bed. Plus, NMM. Levvenia groggily got up, looking around, finally laying eyes on Noah. She rubbed her eyes. Did Noah change? Levvenia didn't know how to describe it, but it felt like he was more, pure than yesterday. Noah didn't know this, but watching Noah sleep was the highlight of her morning. Even though his breathing was quiet and calm, and his arms were slack, it felt unnaturally sexual, his defenseless posture. However, the innocence of a 9-year-old, Levvenia only cared a lot about appearances and didn't know much about the birds and the bees. And Noah was quite possibly the most beautiful person she had seen. A face that seemed to have been sculpted in the image of the perfect human, Noah could simultaneously be the most beautiful woman and man at the same time. Noah would call this being a twink. He wore clothing that seemed a few sizes too big on him, but it only accentuated his petiteness further. Levvenia truly didn't know if Noah was a girl or not when she had first met him, as his voice was as equally androgynous. However, with his rather special way of speaking, even though he had said he was a guy, Levvenia inwardly decided to put Noah in his own area. His gender was Noah. The end. Levvenia laid back down on Noah's legs. While it looked rather thin, it was rather comfortable instead, as if it was made of feathers, a perfect pillow to lay on. She stared at Noah's face, his platinum blonde hair framing his face, his long eyelashes twitching occasionally, as if he was having a nightmare. Truly a perfect pastime. Just looking at that face made her want to smile. If Noah could read her mind, he would run away in fright. He was unknowingly attracting children. Please don't arrest him. He didn't even do anything. Unfortunately he wasn't. He was currently having a nightmare of Merlin chasing him around, trying to take away the saint quartz he had. A few more minutes passed, as the sun rose enough for the light to refract through the ice Noah had conjured up before he slept, creating a kaleidoscopic effect in the cave, causing Levvenia to take a sharp breath in awe. Regrettably, one of the stray beams of light hit Noah's eyes, causing his face to scrunch up in frustration, instinctively trying to wave that shit away to no avail. His eyes squinted, looking around groggily, before taking in his surroundings. Wow, if he had a phone he would probably want to take a picture of this. But was the smartphone even invented in 1993? He became depressed again. He couldn't even doom scroll until 30 years passed. Damn it. Looking around for Levvenia, he saw her looking at the spectacle he had accidentally created, poking at the ice. What are you doing? Noah gave an exasperated smile. If he had a kid, would this feeling be similar? Levvenia froze at the sudden voice. She quickly turned her head to make eye contact with Noah's amused expression, before looking away as if she was caught doing embarrassing. Did you eat breakfast? Levvenia shook her head. Then let's just eat the jerky then leave. Judging by the effect, the sun's probably out. The sun rises in the west and sets in the east type she. Noah causally waved his hand. Quote. I think it rises in the east and sets in the west. Levvenia interrupted. Quote. Who cares? He shrugged. Noah had no shame. He knew he was an idiot, but damn it if he didn't live up to that standard. He waved his hand to shut off the mana absorption trait of his skill. As his skills were practically broken thanks to his protection of the faith skill, he gained a better control over them. Taking back the Japanese brazier, he stretched. WGHAHHH. Ha. Refreshing as hell, Noah ignored the incredulous expression of Levvenia at the random stretching noise he made. A day has passed. +1 free pull. Well, just doing one free pull feels weird, so he'd save it until he finished his dailies. He could feel Genshin Impact flashbacks. Thank God he quit that damn game. Damn that dick wizard. Daily quest. Daily quests. Refreshes at 11:59 p.m. Daily quest hunt 1 evil alignment entity +1 free pull incomplete. Daily quest talk to a human who isn't Levvenia Rennie +1 free pull incomplete. Daily quest 100 push-ups +1 free pull incomplete. Weekly quest. Refreshes at 11:59 p.m. Sunday. Weekly quest make the equivalent of 20 United States dollars +2 free pulls incomplete. What the hell? I have to fight an evil guy and talk to someone who isn't Levvenia. How was he supposed to do that? The system does not make an impossible quest. So was the system saying that he was going to run into some evil people? The system didn't respond. Fine, be a bitch. Noah huffed, before looking back at the cave to make sure he didn't forget anything. You ready? He looked at Levvenia, who nodded in response. He picked her up much easier than yesterday, which was a good thing, even if she weighed like absolutely nothing, seeing as she was a 9-year-old. Leaving the cave, he squinted as he looked into the sky. Walking on top of the nearest tree, he looked for where the sun was. He looked directly at that shit. Ma fucking eyes. He squinted. If that was east, then. Never eat soggy waffles. He looked to his right. Levvenia, just making sure, but that direction is south, right? Noah nodded in a direction. Levvenia turned her eyes to look at the sun. Kayak. Her hands rose to her face. Hey, she probably looked directly at the sun too. She squinted, before looking in the direction he nodded towards earlier. She nodded. That should be south. Noah walked in that direction, using furthest earth. He followed the process of walking to the nearest high ground, looking for any sign of civilization, and then repeating the process. This process continued for the next few minutes. As Noah was slowly going insane at the sheer white landscape, Levvenia stopped him before he was going to take another step. Wait, I think I saw something. Noah blinked. He took a step back, looking around for any signs of smoke. Was Levvenia going insane too? Look. Levvenia extended her leaning back, her head upside down, pointing in a direction. He looked in that direction, squinting to see a little further. All he saw were trees, and more trees. Noah gave Levvenia a pointed look. Don't look at me like that, I'm not delusional. Don't you see the stone road under the trees? Levvenia glared at Noah, reading his mind. He crouched to be at Levvenia's head level. Oh, she was right. My bad, I'm just too tall. Nothing we can do about it. Noah shook his head side to side in mock exasperation. We're the same height, Levvenia argued. Unfortunately, Noah just ignored it. He walked in that direction, arriving at what looked to be an abandoned town. There's just a random-ass town in the middle of nowhere. This was undeniably suspicious. Noah didn't put Levvenia down for now, just in case he got bumrushed out of nowhere. The buildings didn't seem like they were that old, but there were no signs of any humans at all. Noah approached a nearby building, opening the door to see what resembled a war zone, scratches all across the walls, broken furniture, and random stains on the wall that looked eerily reminiscent of blood. He set Levvenia down, before looking around the building to see if there was anything to ransack. What? The owner was probably dead. Was there some monster in this town? Was that why his daily quest told him to kill an entity with the evil alignment? Levvenia looked rather pale at the blood stains on the walls. I would tell you to close your eyes, but you're going to have to get used to this eventually if we tryna be the winter duet, Noah commented, looking to see if the man left any money around. He found a pickaxe. He sighed. Now all he needed was some flint and steel and he would be jolly. Chicken jockey, Noah mumbled, to the confusion of Levvenia. Noah shook his head. Nothing. This was probably a mining town. The clothes in the broken closet were dark gray with ash. But he was still surprised. A mining town in this day and age. Wait, they were in 1993. But wasn't that the time of damn, he was bad at history. If this was a mining town, then there was probably a road leading to a bigger town, just covered by all this fucking snow. The two looked around the town, inspecting every portion of the buildings just in case the possible enemy thought they had presence concealment. They got a few rubles on the way, though he didn't really know the conversion rates, inflation and all. Arriving at the abandoned town center, there was a trail of blood leading to the abandoned church, as if a bloody body was dragged into the church. Next to it was a larger building. It was probably the village chief's house. They were probably already dead though. Levvenia grabbed onto Noah's sleeve, looking at the entrance to the abandoned church, her body tense. If this was a horror movie, this was probably where the main characters get jump scared by the door suddenly opening. Noah really wanted to do nothing other than just demolish the entire church. Why should he willingly enter the enemy's turf if he could just destroy the entire thing? But there was something stopping him, like a shackle preventing him from destroying the church. God damn it, Noah. Noah sighed, complaining, like the shit's already abandoned. What's wrong with finishing the job? Noah mumbled, glaring at the entrance to the church. He stood still in thought. He looked back at Levvenia. Wanna come with? Levvenia nodded, her expression serious. Noah shrugged. He was confident that he would win. He might cause me a little trouble. But would you lose? He inwardly joked. If the thing inside was evil, his abilities would increase by another rank, bringing his abilities to the next level. Noah walked up to the church, opening the door, the bloody hinges creaking as he opened the door to be face to face with someone on the altar, chewing on human flesh. He didn't know why, but instead of being disgusted at the fact that the monster was eating human flesh, he was more mad at the fact that the bastard was desecrating the church. Maybe the protection of the faith influenced him more than he thought. The fuck are you supposed to be, Hannibal? Noah commented, looking at the woman eating the human with undisguised disgust in his eyes. The woman paused, before looking up and meeting eye contact, revealing her crazed eyes. Exorcist. Exorcist. Exorcist, she mumbled. Noah frowned, while Levvenia flinched. She didn't expect her first fight to be so gruesome. Noah didn't expect it to be a blissed horror movie either. Taking out Marie Antoinette's dress and tossing it over Levenia's head, Noah looked back at the crazy psycho in front of her. Hey, Noah ignored her, keeping eye contact with the psycho. I know I said it's better to get used to this, but we're still children. How about you do this shit after we hit I don't know, 12. I'm not a child, Levvenia complained, but didn't take the dress off her head, instead further hiding her head. She could see herself getting nightmares from this experience. I'll tell you when you can take it off, Noah added. Their conversation wasn't ignored, as the monster tilted her head grotesquely. Food, 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 she gurgled out. Hell no, no, no. Noah could feel a boost in his power, but the thing in front of him looked pretty weak anyways. It was probably a stray devil. If she was able to run away, then its master was probably weak. But if only high-class devils could get a peerage, then it was probably decently strong. Decisions. Ah, he hated thinking. Well, it could possibly not even be a stray devil at all. Let's just kill it. Noah raised his hands. Bang. Unlike Glenda, the monster immediately pushed itself to the right, feeling danger. But Noah wasn't fazed. Bang, 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 bang. Whenever the monster tried to run toward him, he released a wave of ice, pushing back. Eventually, the devil ran out of stamina, and she got hit by one of his ice spears, spelling out her doom, her movement slowing down from the cold. Bang! The spear rammed into her head, freezing it solid. The main benefit of ice abilities is the lack of blood everywhere. As the devil went limp, Noah got a notification. Daily quest 1/3 completed. Hunt 1 evil alignment entity plus 1 free pull. Killed a stray devil for the first time. You have obtained the achievement Doomslayer level 1 plus 1 free pull. Huh, Noah hummed in surprise. Something this easy warranted an achievement. Noah, did you kill it yet? Levvenia nervously asked, as the church went silent as Noah killed the devil. Wait, I'm almost done. Noah looked around the church, filled with human bones and the lingering scent of rotten flesh. The Noah in him was begging for him to clean it, and he also wanted to low-key clean it up too. He raised his hands, preparing to use Merlin's magecraft. Fixing the church wouldn't take much. It would only take 95% of his mana reserves. Noah inwardly clicked his tongue. 95% to just fix up a church. What a scam. He felt his mana leave his body, flower petals creeping up the church walls, leaving pristine, oiled hardwood in its wake, taking the human parts and the scent with it, leaving the faint scent of lavender. The smell confused Levvenia, who prematurely took off the dress on her head, taking in the new church in astonishment. Wah! Noah, on the other hand, felt faint. He made his way over to a pew and sat down on it, massaging his temples. When could you do that, Noah? Levvenia marveled, admiring the craftsmanship of the church. Since yesterday. Levvenia pouted, unbelieving, but it was true. He pulled Merlin's magecraft just yesterday. Noah closed his eyes. He really wanted to take a nap right now. Changed positions to laying down on the cushioned pew, closing his eyes. He would never willing use the Dick Wizard's magecraft ever again, Noah be damned. Plus, Levvenia explored the newly refurbished church, until she heard the entrance of the church opening. She froze before reacting. Noah was still asleep. It was her chance to protect him. She quickly ran to the entrance, preparing to activate her sacred gear. Referencing Noah, she could use the doll to use ice attacks too, even though she couldn't use it that long. Entering the general church area, she was face to face with a young girl who looked only a few years older than her. Levvenia was tense, wearily looking at the young girl in front of her, who had a light sword in her hands, and a tight-fitting outfit where if Noah saw, he would be asking who made it, so he could kill them for the creation of the pedo bait. It was a skin-tight black leotard, with the only grace being that she was wearing a white cloak which covered most of her body. The girl had only just entered the church, having not noticed Noah yet. That was a relief. It seemed the girl noticed her at the same time, her eyes narrowing in preparation, her hand on the hilt of her light sword, before one of her eyebrows raised in confusion. This girl didn't look like a stray devil. All the signs in this abandoned town was pointing to this church housing the stray devil, but as she got closer, there were unusual signs. Despite the entirety of the town looking relatively run down yet still fitting the aesthetic, the church alone looked like it was built just yesterday with a completely different architect. It was like finding a big-ass pineapple next to a cottage. Did you kill the stray devil here? The girl had a serious tone which didn't match her high-pitched voice, nor did it match her appearance either. Levvenia was unfamiliar with the term, but it suited that monster Noah had fought an hour ago. But Levvenia hesitated to answer, seeing as Noah was still asleep. Looking at the hesitation on Levvenia's face, the girl was confused. Why was she hesitating? Wasn't she human too? Was she in cahoots with the stray devil? She made her way down the aisle, with her hands on her sword hilt. While the girl herself didn't look threatening, she had a gut feeling that there was more to her. Don't get closer, Levvenia warned. If the girl walked a few more steps, she would be able to see Noah. The exorcist froze. What was she trying to protect? She rose her hands in a gesture of peace. I don't want to fight. I was dispatched here by the Vatican to exorcise the stray devil in this town, but it seemed the info was too outdated. The girl trailed off. However, Levvenia was still tense. The exorcist took a few steps back, only then did Levvenia slowly relax. I didn't kill it. It was dead by the time I got here. Levvenia blurted out, trying to think of a good excuse, not realizing that the exorcist wasn't her only audience. The sudden increase in volume made Noah stir, causing Levvenia to freeze up. Shoot, she paled, all that effort just for Noah to wake up. Noah slowly opened his eyes and rubbed it, the movement garnering the attention of the exorcist. Her hands neared the hilt of her light sword. Yo, why are you looking at me like that? Noah mumbled at Levvenia, causing her to sweat drop. He got up, looking around, before locking eyes with someone who resembled an older Levvenia, but with a lighter shade of blonde hair with a darker shade of blue for her eyes. The girl froze as they made eye contact. Who you? Noah mumbled. She didn't feel like an enemy, rather the protection of the faith skill was probably making him feel that way, so she was probably an exorcist. The question knocked the girl out of her stupor. I'm an exorcist, and I was looking for the stray devil reported to be in this town. Her voice got more quiet as she repeated what she said to Levvenia. She hadn't expected for the girl to be protecting another girl. She didn't know why, but it felt like she was in front of the Pope. Or when she was training under Vasco Strada. That sense of pure holiness. However, the unusual part was that despite that, she couldn't feel any holy power emanating from him. Just an underlying feeling of purity. Noah rubbed his eyes again, fiercely trying to blink away his grogginess. He finally got a good look at her. What the hell was she wearing? Why is you dressed in that pedo bait outfit? You look underage for God's sake. You should investigate the Vatican artisans. His voice was flat, causing both Levvenia and the girl to freeze. What? The exorcist couldn't believe what she heard. Daily quest 2/3 completed. Talk to a human who isn't Levvenia Rennie. You have talked to Vatican exorcist Griselda Quarta +1 free pull. Who was that again? +AN. Right now, Griselda is only 13 years old, and she'll be 28 when canon starts. I don't actually know the age, but the appearance in the wiki says she looks like she's in her late 20s and early 30s, so Zenobia is 3 right now and Griselda will take care of Zenobia as her guardian when she hits 20, when Zenobia is 10. That's what I decided. Also, Lint is 8 years old right now. I know she looks really young in the novel, but I see her as Fried's twin and there's no way Fried isn't a grown-ass man at the start of canon. If this is inaccurate, then just call it IDC. I also said I would make this 2000 chapters but I was uber inspired this chap. No character sheet cause Noah didn't gotcha this chapter. If you enjoyed, please gimme a review, power stones, and comments. Thanks for the support for my first FIC. I'll keep spam uploading chapters cause I have a flight this Saturday so I won't be able to write for a day. I'm not the type to have a backlog either. 16 comments 0 vote, $20 is $20. Noah inspected Griselda's outfit, looking her up and down, an incredulous expression on his face. While Griselda had gotten used to the embarrassing outfit, it was still a bit shameful for someone like Noah, who emanated a holy aura, looking at her outfit in disdain. She could feel her face heating up. It was one thing for a grown woman to wear something that belonged in the back alleys of red light districts, but for a girl that didn't even look grown up to wear it. Hell nah, they needed to arrest whoever designed the outfit and whoever made it a normal thing. Noah was about hit them with that 360YY. This woman was also an unfamiliar name. Griselda Quarta, who the hell is that? Was she like Levvenia, where she just wasn't in the anime? He remembered Zenobia had a similar last name but she looked way too young to be her mom even when canon started. Was this her older sister? His thoughts were cut off. "You can overlook your disrespect towards the church's battle attire," Griselda started, her voice trailing off, "seeing as I too feel like it is inappropriate." "Yeah, you should look into your manufacturer." Noah nodded in agreement. "I was told that making the fabric for the outfit was a long process." She had complained to the higher-ups when they had given the attire, saying she was green-lighted for missions. The excuse was poor, but with the lack of actual authority as an orphan chosen by the Vatican due to her compatibility with combat and light-based weapons, she couldn't argue. Furthermore, she was still inexperienced. Yeah, they had to be bullshitting with that one, chief. Griselda coughed, trying to lead the conversation away from her outfit. "Let's get back on topic," Levvenia interrupted. "When did the conversation turn from stray devils to pedo-bait outfits?" This woman came out of nowhere and was hogging all of Noah's attention. He was her partner. Yes, you're right. Do you have any information on the stray devil that was reported to be in this town? Noah paused. Oh, so that really was a stray devil. It was just an educated guess, but it appeared he was just built different. You know about it. Could you tell me the location? My investigation around the town came up empty, just signs of resistance. Griselda's eyebrow raised. Was she finally going get some information? The girl had said that it was already dead by the time she arrived, but it was obvious that she was lying. That monster. Yeah, I killed it. Noah plainly said, getting up from his sitting position on the pew, stretching before getting down to start his 100 push-ups. What? He needed to gamble. A man gotta do what he gotta do. Griselda blinked in confusion at the rather special behavior, raising an eyebrow in suspicion. While the boy did feel like a holy man, akin to descriptors of renowned saints, the casual manner in which he admitted it made her feel a bit bewildered, his manner of speaking not matching his age. She looked incredulously at the boy who had started doing push-ups, mentally noting that his hair was unnaturally tame, unlike one would expect of hair as tall as he was, as if the wind itself didn't want to get in his way. Griselda fell into thought. Should she bring them into the Vatican? She wasn't trained for this. This was only her 7th mission, and on top of that, her first time doing a solo mission, due to the recent shortages in exorcists. Her assigned senior suddenly left for another mission when an emergency report was sent to the church, leaving her alone. Griselda didn't know whether she had the authority to bring someone in. Levvenia, on the other hand, was disoriented by the whimsical nature of Noah, who had suddenly gone from casually admitting that he killed the stray devil to doing push-ups. What happened to being weary of the women, children, and the elderly? She already knew Noah was a bit special in the head, but Griselda obviously checked both women and children, and this guy just revealed that he killed the stray devil. Like Ma Brutha, unfortunately for Levvenia, Noah's protection of the faith made him favor people pure of heart and faithful, and Griselda had both. Quote, "May I ask what you're doing?" After some thought, Griselda thought it would at least be good to bring him over to the Vatican, even if he wasn't going to join. She would leave the logistics to the people who were more experienced than her. Don't mind me. Finishing up his push-ups, he got up. Noah noted that he finished faster than he expected. Even though Noah knew that he got a stat boost from protection of the faith, he never got the chance to use his physical abilities at all, spamming his ice abilities instead. It felt weird to not feel any resistance when doing push-ups. Daily quest 3/3 completed. 100 push-ups plus 1 free pull. Dusting off the non-existent dust on his body, he crossed his arms. So, what are you going to do now that you know I killed it? Well, I have to report that the threat is neutralized. However, may I propose something? Griselda seemed nervous. Go ahead. Noah nodded, giving a glance to Levvenia to see her opinion. While her expression didn't look entirely positive, she also gave a hesitant nod. Would you like to join the Vatican? Nah, I'm good. Griselda paused at the instant refusal, stupefied. To see, she trailed off. Looking at Griselda's unhidden disappointment, Noah sighed, changing the subject. You have any money? He needed some money, both for his weekly quest and for some food. He really wanted some KFC right now. Was KFC even a thing in 1993? He was really out of touch. He felt like a grandpa, even though he was from the future. While the Vatican does give exorcists incentives and a small stipend, it's mainly centered around benefits in church. Currently I only have enough for transportation back to the Vatican. Noah gave her a look of pity. She was working at a black company and it wasn't even the 2000s. Child labor on top of that. Such misfortune. Why's he looking at me like that? Can I leave the Vatican whenever I want? Griselda shook her head. Then the church was useless. No money, no freedom. His 2 life goals. One may ask, isn't money being one of his life goals too vain? Hell nah. Whoever says money doesn't buy happiness obviously didn't have enough. My girlfriend broke up with me. Yeah, I'll be crying in my multi-million-dollar Porsche. Welp, then I don't have a reason to join. Griselda paused. She really wanted to explain that Noah would probably be accepted with high benefits instantly just from his aura alone, but she didn't know how to explain it without sounding delusional. I see. Then I will be heading out now. Thank you for clarifying and may the Lord be with you. Bowing, Griselda walked down the aisle and opened the door to see a snowstorm, the visibility practically non-existent. She squinted. A whiteout. In Ukraine, it was only snowing a little when she was investigating. Noah also blinked in surprise when he saw Griselda open the door. Wasn't it literally just sunny this morning? The fuck was this weather? Griselda slowly shut the door, turning around, pausing. If I may be so bold, may I stay here until the weather gets better? Noah shrugged. It ain't my church. I just slept here cause I was tired. Right. Noah looked at Levvenia, who seemed reluctant. She contemplated for a few seconds, before eventually nodding. It would be too cruel to just kick her out in that weather. Griselda bowed in appreciation. It felt weird to bow to two children, but life was filled with unexpected circumstances, this was just one of them. So formal, Noah commented. We're all children here, so why not relax? Griselda gave a wry smile. My apologies. I'm just more used to formal speak. "'Kay then, you have any food for dinner?" That question made both Levvenia and Griselda falter. How were they supposed to get food in that kind of weather? Griselda shook her head. While she had gotten here from the main road from the larger town nearby, she had expected this trip to be short. The only food item she had was a pack of peanuts. I have a pack of peanuts if that counts. She trailed off, pointedly ignoring Noah's look of pity. They were starving their workers too. I have some leftover jerky from the hare yesterday, but it's only a dozen small pieces. Levvenia took out small pieces of meat from her worn-out pockets. The two girls looked at Noah. What are you looking at me for? I don't have anything. He turned his shorts pockets inside out, with the only thing it contained being small pieces of lint. Can't you do that thing you usually do? Levvenia whispered into his ear. Oh yeah, he had GACHA. He glanced at Griselda. Personally he didn't care doing an embarrassing ritual, but praying to a pretty servant instead of God felt wrong. After all, he was in a church right now. Noah made his way to the front of the cross, before kneeling. Griselda looked on with curiosity. Despite Noah having a holy aura, she didn't strike him for a believer judging by his manner of speaking. If Levvenia could read her mind, she would burst out laughing. As someone who believed in God, she kneeled next to Noah, closing her eyes in prayer. Levvenia, not wanting to be left out, followed suit. It didn't feel right to pray to Nero, and he had already prayed to Jean. Oh, he remembered. Please Saint Martha, the boxing saint, the next coming of Muhammad Ali, please gimme something good. Unlike Griselda, who was in her own world of prayer, Levvenia was baffled overhearing Noah's prayer. Boxing saint, Saint Martha, was he talking about the same person? Different from Noah, praying to random people in history to someone she had just met was a little awkward, so she just prayed in her head. Pull. Outfit Okita Soji, swimsuit, stage 2. The moment he registered the words in front of him, he shoved it in his inventory. He instantly recognized Okita Soji as a saberface, but there was something more important. What the fuck? The hell was he supposed to do with a swimsuit? But does it even fit him? All outfits from the Type Moon GACHA system auto-adjust in size to the wearer. How convenient. He would have to look at it later. Not because he was a femboy pervert, mind you, but there could be other parts that isn't a fucking swimsuit. Get your minds out the gutter. Thank God he put it away while the other two were praying. That could have been way worse. Pull. Servant skill trash and crush X rank. Bro, I made the rates even worse, but this guy still got an X rank skill. Oh, let's fucking go. He was on a fucking roll. No sanity. He could inspect the abilities later, but it was an X rank skill nonetheless. Maybe the boxer saint was blessing him. This church had to have some gacha boosting abilities. Pull. Extra skill Last Master Fujimaru Ritsuka's experience, second singularity, Eternal Madness Empire, Septim D rank. Noah tensed up. Every time he got an extra skill it always hurt like a bitch. The feeling of memories and experience not his own ramming into his head wasn't something he could get used to. However, unlike what he expected, in his mindscape, he saw a bookshelf with only one book in it. Taking the book out of the shelf, he read out the title. Second Singularity, Eternal Madness Empire, Septim Emperor of Rose. He opened the book, to recognize the content. It's just the entire Second Singularity in book form. That was a good thing. He would prefer his extra skills to not cause him excruciating pain, even if he wasn't one for reading. He thought of a specific scene, and the pages automatically flipped to that page. Damn, was this convenient as hell. Noah nodded in appreciation. Who cares if the skill was only D rank? If he could collect all of them, then he could be pretty confident in naming servants and their skills. He put the book back in the bookshelf, aptly named Fate Grand Order. So far, other than the Okita Soji swimsuit, he had gotten 2 pretty useful things. He had 1 pull left. Next to him, Griselda was wondering why Noah was praying for so long, but it felt awkward for the exorcist to be the first one to stop praying, so she just waited. Pull. Outfit Tenochtitlan Stage 2. The name was unfamiliar, but it sounded pretty male, sounding way better than Okita Soji's swimsuit. Unfortunately, Noah didn't get any food today. Like always, just in case, into the inventory it went. Didn't want another Marie Antoinette dress happening. Getting up, Noah stretched his legs, massaging them. Kneeling was way too exhausting. Following suit, Levvenia massaged her legs as well, as they fell asleep. Did you get any food? Noah shook his head. I was unlucky. Levvenia's face morphed from expectation to disappointment. Griselda was confused as she got up. What did the girl mean when she asked if he got any food? Why was he praying to God for food? Judging from the girl's familiarity, did that mean the boy really got food by praying? Wait, she didn't even know their names. The boy was talking to her with such familiarity she had completely forgotten to introduce herself. Now how was she supposed to? Griselda glanced at Noah, waiting for a good opportunity for introductions, but she got called out almost immediately. Why are you looking at me like that? Noah raised his eyebrows in confusion. Griselda kept glancing at him weirdly. He knew he was a damn cute Shota, but that didn't mean he wanted to bag children. He preferred not to be sent to jail mentally, thank you. But if the other person was a MILF? Decisions. Two just wanted to introduce myself. I realized that I asked to stay here without even doing the bare minimum. Griselda trailed off. You know you could have just asked, but why you gotta add all that extra words like you gotta stick up your ass? She was like ChatGPT, adding a shit ton of words for no reason. Before Griselda could even react to that, Noah pointed at himself. My name's Noah, don't remember my last name, no parents, 9 years old. Nice to meet you. Noah glanced at Levvenia, who looked reluctant but continued nonetheless. Levvenia Rennie, also no parents, 9 years old. Nice to meet you. This kid called me someone with a stick up my ass. Are we just going to ignore that? Griselda thought, getting caught up in the mood. Griselda Quarta, 13 years old. Also an orphan. Wait, why am I saying this? You disrespectful brat. She glared at Noah, pointing at him. She could forgive him for saying she looked like pedo bait, seeing as she didn't really like the church's battle attire either, but to say she had a stick up her ass. It took a long time to cultivate this mentality, thank you very much. Hey, Noah chortled, amused at the sudden switch in personality. It felt weird to see a 13-year-old act serious. What happened to experiencing childhood? Ah, the old days, eating chalk, eating crayons, and eating Play-Doh. That was youth, or maybe not. Noah ignored her outburst. I guess we're the orphan trio, huh? Now this kid was ignoring her. A vein popped out, as Griselda clenched her teeth. What a disrespectful kid. Wait, kid. Did she just get angry at a 9-year-old? Griselda immediately sobered up, feeling shame from her sudden outburst. She even had experience with caring for kids at the orphanage and yet she still got mad at a child. What happened to experience? If Noah could read her mind, he would ask, what experience? You're a fucking kid. Fortunately for Griselda, he couldn't. Hey, gimme some jerky. Ignoring Griselda having an existential crisis, he turned his attention toward Levvenia. Quote. Sure. Holding out half of the jerky, Noah made sure there wasn't any dust on the food. Cheers. He held out his piece of jerky towards Levvenia. She looked at it in thought, before realizing what Noah was asking for. Cheers. They tapped Tip's paws and they popped it in their mouths. It was a little chewy, but the taste wasn't bad, even without salt. He attributed it to the Japanese brazier. Who knew if it had special effects? Watching Levvenia and Noah chew on their protein, Griselda looked down at her small package of peanuts before inwardly sighing. Next time she went on a mission, she would definitely bring a protein bar. The three quickly finished off their foods and looked around the church to see if there was anywhere to sleep. Thankfully, it seemed that there was 2 rooms with a bed. Noah didn't even know it existed, and he was the one who made it. He separated with Griselda and Levvenia and went into his own room, much to Levvenia's dismay. He may look like a girl but he sure as hell wasn't. Closing the door, he looked over the pulls he got. He already checked Ritska's experience, so he just needed to look at the skill in the clothing. Whose skill is this? While he didn't know skill names, he could recognize some servants, and he could probably glean how to use it rather than just reading about it and experimenting from there. Passionlip origin. BB Parvati, Durga, Brynhildr. Excuse me, all these names sounded familiar. BB was that Sakura AI in the moon cell if he remembered correctly. So Passionlip was also a Sakura face. That's all he knew. He didn't play Fate extra CCC. So his possible reference was useless. No choice but to rely on the system. What's this thing do? If something can be enveloped by your hands, you can crush and compress it, eventually turning it into dust data. What does enveloping by his hands mean? Was it a matter of perspective? Yes. However, the object you are crushing and compressing must be unimpeded visually. The time and effort it takes to compress an object increases depending on the size and overall strength. Damn, that was overpowered as fuck. Noah inwardly cheered, being mindful of the girls next door. He didn't know what dust data was, but since the moon cell was a computer, dust data was probably something like garbage. Noah looked around the room for a test subject, his eyes falling on a chair. Taking a few steps back to make some distance, Noah held out his hands near his eyes, making a crushing motion. As his two hands met, nothing happened. Noah tilted his head in confusion. What the? Did he need to use mana? Similar to Winds of Niflheim, it's charged by ambient mana and used by imagery. Thinking back to the hydraulic press videos he used to watch for a time, he got into position again. This time, there was an invisible resistance, but it wasn't that strong, like crushing a paper ball. His hands slowly approached each other, and Noah could see and hear the chair creaking, distorting. The volume wanted to go somewhere, but it was trapped, only leave its cries in its wake. As the chair got smaller and smaller, Noah fully clasped his hands together. He looked at the 5 cm by 5 cm by 5 cm cube on the floor. Damn, this looks metal as fuck. Picking it up, Noah expected it to be heavy, but surprisingly it was rather light. Didn't he crush it into a cube? Shouldn't the density increase? When crushed, the object only retains 1/10 of its original mass. Noah raised an eyebrow. What an unusual drawback. Or was it even a drawback? He shrugged. At least he got another broken power in his arsenal. Do I have to finish the motion? No homo. Negative. Host can stop halfway, and the object will be in that state unless they have a healing ability. Noah nodded. So where does the mask go? It gets deleted. Noah paused. So it was another go big or go home ability. Damn, give him something that only hurts the enemy, not outright kills the thing. At least it was a strong ability. Now for his new pieces of clothing. Unlike clothing from Craft Essence, you can materialize the clothes straight on your body. Yeah, I'm not doing that for the Okita Soji one, even if someone paid me $20. Noah trailed off in thought. Would he though? $20 was $20. He would suck it for $20. Maybe I'll take a chance with Tino, something's outfit. After all, it's an Aztec city, so it's probably like some shaman robes. Since Noah's free pull count per day decreased, might as well gamble on his clothing as well. He waved his hands to create a nice mirror to admire himself. He took out Okita Soji's outfit. In his hands was a black and white stylized Haori jacket, black tights, a black leg strap, a white scarf, black gloves, and a black bikini. He immediately tossed the bikini back into his inventory. Be gone. Before anything, he had to make sure of something. I know you said that I could only put stuff from the gacha into the inventory, but can I put my modern clothes in there? As it is both from another universe and manufactured in the future, it is allowed. Noah pumped his fists. Nice. He took off his thin sweater to show a clean white t-shirt that was a few sizes too big. He didn't know why it didn't get dirty yet, seeing as he hasn't showered for 2 days already. Protection of the faith. Word. Hell yeah. He kept on his black shorts, even though it reached down to under his knees. The Haori jacket was low-key heat, with bow knots on the sides with a long white knot on the back and long sleeves with wide rims. He put it on and looked in the mirror. Damn, was he dripped the fuck out. He put on the black gloves and the anti-gravity scarf. Damn, Looking fly as hell, who cared if it looked kind of edgy? With his kind of looks, anything could fit. This wasn't narcissism, it was pure fact. Taking out fairy sword Galatine, he posed in the mirror, imagining a battle scene. After a few minutes of that, his initial hype calmed down, shame seeping in. He inwardly cringed. What the hell am I even doing? Putting the sword back in the inventory, he glanced at the tights still strewn on the bed. Wearing the same socks for 2 days straight felt pretty disgusting despite his body being clean, but, tights. Even though he had a chronic lack of body hair on this body, wearing tights was a matter of his own dignity. Why was he even considering this? Was his own mind getting corrupted into actually being a twink? Like that body affects mind bullshit? Well, it wasn't like he needed to pull the tights up. Taking off his white Air Forces, he took off his dirty gray socks and chucked it into his inventory. Why is this fabric so smooth? Noah thought, picking up the tights. Noah thought, putting on the black tights before grouping up the tights to his ankle. He shivered. Looking in the mirror, it didn't look like tights, but a black sock. Noah sighed in relief. Thank Christ. Now to see the Tenochtitlan outfit. He was a gambling man. Put on the outfit. Do you wish to put on outfit Tenochtitlan Stage 2, replacing everything currently on you? Noah nodded. Yeah, his current clothes changed, and he looked in the mirror and he froze. What the fuck is that? Plus, I read in a martial arts novel that body affects mind. Personally, if I turned into a macho man, I would act macho too. Also, someone gave advice saying that Mick should get Ritzka's experience. I thought that by itself was kinda boring, so I did what I did. Also, I keep saying I'll have 2,000 words max, but I just keep writing. If you wonder what Mick looks like RN as a child, it's Captain Nemo. Funny thing, Captain Nemo was considered to have an unknown gender until it was determined to be male. Nemo Bakery is female, Nemo Engine is female, Nemo Marine is male. Nemo Nurse is unknown, Nemo Professor is unknown, like damn. I pray for good not brainrot DxD fanfics to suddenly be made. Unfortunately, I consider my own work to be brainrot, though, if you couldn't tell, since I am writing this for fun. If you enjoyed, I would appreciate power stones, comments, and reviews. Plus, current status page of Noah. Noah, vessel. Noah source, Old Testament. Parameters, strength, 6.34 50 EPOTF, not even F. Endurance, 5.12 50 EPOTF, not even F. Agility, 15.12 50 EPOTF, not even F. Mana, 9.00 50 EPOTF, not even F. Luck, 81.58 90 APOTF B. NP, X, extra skills, knowledge of reinforcement magecraft, Levvenia Edelvelt. Knowledge of illusion magecraft, illusions so real that the world believes it, Merlin X rank. Last Master Fujimaru Ritzka's experience, second singularity, Eternal Madness Empire, Septim D rank. Class skills, class skill writing D rank, C rank POTF. Personal skills, Jewel of the Earth A rank, A+++ rank POTF. Furthest Earth Kyokuchi A rank, A+++ rank POTF. Wind of Niflheim B rank, A rank POTF. Protection of the Faith X rank. Trash and Crush X rank. Noble Phantasm. Those who make me lower my head, even once, I pray they all die E rank, D rank POTF. Doomsday Come X rank. Flucticulus Diana C rank, B rank POTF. Fairy Sword Galatine Weapon. Items. Craft Essence Heroic Spirit Dream Portrait, Billy the Kid. Craft Essence Hippo-chan, used. Craft Essence Balloon Scimitar. Mystic Code Rin's Pendant. Craft Essence Fate Grand Carnival 2nd Season. Craft Essence Vestiges of Year 1999. Craft Essence Summer's Corruption Set. Craft Essence Heroic Spirit Formal Dress, Marie Antoinette. Craft Essence Artisan's Mochi. Noble Phantasm Fairy Sword Galatine Weapon. Outfit Okita Soji, Swimsuit, Stage 2. Outfit Tenochtitlan Stage 2. 19 comments 0 vote. Noah's Aura Farming Adventure. Steel Ball Run. What happened? Almost immediately after Noah yelled, with the reaction time of someone who was born ready, Griselda barged into the room, her light sword ready. Noah's head turned to door almost immediately, eyes widened. Was this bitch prepared for this? Griselda instinctively scanned the entire room left to right, looking for possible enemies, stopping in her tracks when her eyes laid on Noah. Single quote. Woo, let's go back a few hours. When Griselda had first laid eyes on Noah, the first thought that came to mind was, pretty, along with a sense of appreciation. Mind you, this was when he was wearing a baggy outfit, his outline nearly unrecognizable. The only skin visible that wasn't his hands or face being his pale calves, not fully covered by his oversized shorts. Even with such little exposure, Griselda was in a sense bewitched, her favor towards him instantly increasing when their eyes first met. While there were a number of attractive people in the church, Noah's beauty undeniably stood out. So despite Noah's occasional disrespectful comments, Griselda quickly brushed them off. Noah would be shedding tears if he knew this though, unknowingly attracting the FBI on his ass. Looking at Noah's outfit now, she had to give full props to the designer. This shit was absolute cinema. Noah wore an off-shoulder forest green jacket, along with much shorter black shorts, with a semi-see-through area showing the contour of his upper chest and collarbones. He had 2 bracelets on his right arm and 1 on his left, and wore round sunglasses with a cute green beret to top the outfit off. While the outfit could be seen as gender-neutral, on Noah it unmistakably looked rather feminine. Unlike before, she could see the full extent of his petite stature, pale legs thin enough that she could wrap her fingers around them and still have space. All in all, it was peak fiction. Adorable. While Griselda was frozen ogling, Levvenia scrambled behind her in alert and confusion, also pausing before following Griselda's example. Yo, close the goddamn door. Noah waved his hands, ice slamming on the door. Griselda, with her experience training flashbacks, immediately grabbed Levvenia, who was still dazed, and jumped back as the door slammed shut. Griselda was still relatively dazed at Noah's outfit, but she felt a bit of sense of responsibility. Noah probably practiced the art of only showing skin to his loved ones. Quote. Are you alright? I heard the yell and assumed you were attacked. She yelled though the door. No response. I apologize for laying eyes on your exposed skin. I'll take responsibility for you. That got a response from Noah. What? Woman, do you even know what you're saying? You the feds? Noah's muffled voice could be heard from the other side. Griselda blinked. What are the feds? But it seemed he was truly angry at her. I'll take responsibility too, Levvenia added. What are you 2 psychos even saying? Noah opened the door short of breath, his outfit changed, looking at Griselda and Levvenia with disdain, which did nothing other than fuel Griselda's misunderstanding. It only took him this long cause the system was being annoying as fuck, asking for confirmation over and over again. Griselda's disappointment was obvious at the changed outfit. It wasn't his original outfit, but it still covered nearly all his skin. While she had questions regarding how he had even acquired these outfits, taking full responsibility was top priority. Maybe taking responsibility isn't enough? Griselda asked. Noah's eyebrow raised, before sighing. Pause. No one's taking responsibility for anything. Oh, yo woman, why are you sounding disappointed? This woman a freak. He raised an eyebrow before remembering something. Also, just in case you dip before I even wake up, can you lead me and Levvenia to the nearest city tomorrow? Griselda hummed in thought. I can, but can I place a request? As long as it isn't something stupid as taking responsibility, shoot. Then instead of joining the Vatican, could you at least visit it? Yo, we're all the way out in the boonies of Ukraine over here and you want us to go all the way to Italy. I need more of an incentive, woman. Noah raised his hands, creating a circle with his index and thumb like he had seen in anime, signifying that he needed a bribe. Unfortunately for him, this sign was lost in translation. Sex. Noah raised an eyebrow at the unexpected word. Excuse me. Griselda raised an eyebrow. She had seen contracted mercenaries showing women that particular sign before. Wasn't Noah 9 years old? Bro, are you special in the head? It's money, you crackhead, Noah explained. You see this? This is money. Like a coin. Never read manga before. Griselda tilted her head in confusion. Noah paused, before patting her shoulder in pity. You poor thing. Griselda narrowed her eyes. I may not know what you're talking about, but I feel like you're insulting me. Noah looked away. What? Me? PSSH, what you are talking about? He waved his hands in dismissal, changing the subject. So, you have any reason for me to go? I don't know how to prove it to you, but I am relatively certain they would at least give you something that you might find of use, Griselda explained. If she couldn't get Noah to join the Vatican, it would at least be beneficial to have good first impressions. She was positive that the Vatican would be happy to be on good terms with someone with the potential to become a saint in this day and age, even if Noah was rather vulgar. Noah narrowed his eyes in thought for a few seconds before relenting. Fine, but if I don't get anything, I want 5,000 United States dollars from you in cash. Griselda paused. That was all the allowance she had saved until now. She shook her head, clearing such thoughts. Hesitation was defeat. There was no chance that the church would give Noah nothing for at least killing the stray devil, so her money was safe. She nodded in agreement. Am I coming too? Levvenia asked. Noah incredulously looked at Levvenia, as if he heard wrong. Obviously. Why would I go all this way and even kill that witch if I was going to abandon you? That would have been a waste of my sincerity. Maybe she was feeling a bit left out. Levvenia gave a small sigh in relief. A witch? Griselda interjected. Oh, not that long ago, a witch came to my shack to kidnap Levvenia here, so I killed her. Noah briefly explained. Griselda had the feeling that it was a little too brief. Noah shrugged. He didn't mind sharing, but he had to consider Levvenia's perspective, cause the witch was after her, not him. Unfortunately for Griselda, Levvenia didn't seem to want to tell her, whether it was for her own safety or because she was jealous, only she would know. The only group of magicians Levvenia could think of that were called witches that she could name off the top of her head was the 4 top magicians of the Wizards of Oz, who had separated from the magician organization Grausauberer. Unfortunately, that was all she knew. Maybe she could take her time to look it up the next time she was at the Vatican. But reading. So you agree? Noah slowly nodded, Griselda smiling in response. Good. Then I'm going to bed. Noah said, slowly closing the door. Griselda gave a small bow. Good night. Good night, Levvenia echoed. Yeah, good night. Plus, like usual, Levvenia woke up relatively early, looking outside the window to see that the weather had gotten drastically better, the skies blue, with rays of light shining through the window. Was the weather bipolar or something? She looked around for Griselda, who had given up the bed for her, saying she was more used to sleeping sitting down when on a mission. What had she even gone though? The room was empty, Griselda nowhere to be seen. She rubbed her eyes, making sure she was seeing correctly. Did she leave already? She quickly got out of the bed, making her way to Noah's room, hoping that he was still there. While Noah had told her yesterday that he wouldn't abandon her, her trauma of getting kicked out of her relative's house was still relatively fresh in her mind. Maybe she could even watch him sleep. Opening Noah's door as quiet as possible, she ran into Griselda watching Noah sleep. Was she a freak? Griselda whipped her head around when she felt Levvenia silently entering the room. They had a conversation with their eyes, trying not to wake Noah up. Scum. Levvenia looked down at her. It's a misunderstanding. Griselda's face fell. She came in here to see if he was awake, but inadvertently stayed, watching Noah sleep. It was unnaturally tantalizing. Are you sure about that? Levvenia raised an eyebrow, skeptically looking at Griselda. Well, Griselda looked guilty, but how was it her fault? It was like offering water to someone who was dying of thirst. As a woman entering puberty, it would have been more unusual if she didn't take in the view. But since she was the person who was caught, she was on the moral low ground. However, she realized something. Wait, why was Levvenia trying to enter this room silently if she wasn't going to wake Noah up? Then why did you enter silently? That made Levvenia pause. Single quote. Now it was Griselda's opportunity to look at her in disdain, before looking at Noah weirdly. What a sinful man. Noah would protest if he could. How could he even seduce anyone? He wasn't even awake. After a while the two reached a ceasefire, both deciding to look at Noah's sleeping face in silence. But at that moment, a perfect ray of light hit Noah's face, brightening up the room, making for a picturesque view. Looking at him now, he really does look like a saint only when he isn't speaking. Griselda inwardly noted. Unfortunately, this beam of light was what made Noah wake up. Noah squinted at the light getting his face, his expression settling into a frown. He tried to wave off the light to no avail, before swinging himself up, rubbing his eyes groggily. Cute. Dazed, Noah looked around the room before seeing Levvenia and Griselda quietly looking at him. Holy. Noah jumped, backing up, about to fall off the bed. Griselda with her quick reflexes rushed forward, grabbing onto his arm and dragging him back on the bed. Levvenia glared at Griselda's hand. She should have been faster. She needed to train. Unbeknownst to the two girls, due to his stats reaching low servant standards, he wouldn't have gotten injured even if he fell, but the two girls didn't know that. "What the fuck are you two doing? Almost gave me a heart attack." Noah glared at the two. "I just entered the room, Griselda was here before me so I don't know." Levvenia shrugged, immediately throwing Griselda under the bus. Wah! Griselda whipped her head towards Levvenia in betrayal. She did it too, but she was indeed the first to enter the room so she stayed silent. Noah looked at Griselda with both fear and disgust. Is this woman supposed to be one of those yanderes he'd heard so much about? He didn't think the trope actually existed in real life. Or was it not? He was in DxD after all. Griselda pointedly looked away from Noah, coughing into her hand, a small blush on her face. "I mean woman, you're cute and all, but you're both too young and too freaky. Are you ready to leave?" "My Brutha, I just woke up." Noah looked at her in disbelief. Did this woman really think he would leave the instant he woke up? Griselda's face turned even redder at her poor attempt at trying to change the subject, Levvenia snickering to her side. Noah sighed at the interaction. He looked out the window to check the weather. It was pretty nice. Was the weather bipolar or something? It was as if the whiteout yesterday didn't happen. A day has passed. +1 free pull. Daily quests. Daily quests. Refreshes at 11:59 p.m. Daily quest hunt 1 animal +1 free pull incomplete. Daily quest do 100 sit-ups +1 free pull incomplete. Daily quest talk to 10 different people +1 free pull incomplete. Progress, 0 people. Weekly quest. Refreshes at 11:59 p.m., Sunday. Weekly quest make the equivalent of 20 United States dollars +2 free pulls incomplete. Unsurprisingly, the daily quests were relatively easy today seeing as Griselda would lead them to an actual populated city-town. While Noah didn't really like talking to people, that didn't specifically mean that he couldn't. He wasn't one of those pussies who couldn't talk to people at all. He remembered someone had bumped into him without apologizing, and Noah just threw a fucking haymaker cause his phone cracked when he dropped it. He had just bought it that day too. He thought it was a valid crash out. That pussy tried to fight back, but Noah immediately ran as soon as he hit the punch. It wasn't cause he was scared, trust. After all, it wasn't like he was ever going to meet these randoms again. "I'll go hunt some food for breakfast." Griselda raised an eyebrow. "If you need someone to hunt I could." Noah held up a hand, interrupting her, shaking his head left to right with a tisk, 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 before speaking in all seriousness. "I need to gamble." "Huh, what did hunting a rabbit have to do with gambling?" She turned toward Levvenia for an explanation, but Levvenia, already semi-used to Noah's rather special tendencies, just shrugged. Sometimes, Griselda couldn't keep up with Noah at all. It was like he was speaking a completely different language. She shook her head in resignation. Okay. Noah glanced at Levvenia's clothes, which was just a bundle of dirty rags. Noah would give Levvenia his Tenochtitlan outfit if it didn't reveal so much skin. As a normal human who didn't sexualize literal children or their physical equivalent, preferring tall women with a mature physique, he had the belief that the less skin children showed, the better. "Oh, she's mentally 100 years old. Yeah, no, you're mentally ill and should be locked up for 100 years. I'll try and get you some better clothes when I come back," Noah said, nodding at Levvenia. Levvenia's face brightened, nodding excitedly. Griselda looked confused. What did he mean by finding better clothes? Was he just going to materialize it out of nowhere like he did yesterday? If he could, why couldn't he do it right now? Technically, Nemo could using Merlin's magecraft, but similar to yesterday, it would drain his mana like shit, even if he did. It didn't matter if the scale was small, either he used all his mana or none at all. What a shitty magecraft it was, X rank for what? Plus, similar to 2 days prior, not far from the town, a rabbit hopped over to him willingly and he easily killed it. Unlike last time, he didn't attempt to skin and butcher it, seeing as Levvenia had experience already. Tossing the dead rabbit to the side, he quickly did his sit-ups, getting up to make his way back to the church, when someone called out to him. "Child." Noah turned his head to see an old woman who looked like a witch. He inwardly sighed. Another G. Did he? He tensed up, eyes narrowing in suspicion. Analyzing Noah's reaction, the old witch hummed. You seem to have seen someone similar to me. Do you happen to know where Glenda went? She owed me some materials 3 days ago, and I haven't heard from her since she had bragged about finding a lead. She trailed off. Are you her friend or something? Noah looked at her with suspicion. The old witch laughed. Me and her, friends. Ha, we're more like distant colleagues, or even a debtor and a collector. Is that so? Yes, the last trace of Glenda was near here, and one of her spare bodies was found not that far away. Noah fell into thought. She had said Glenda had found a lead, was she talking about Levvenia? Damn, another ditty aiming for her. How unlucky can she be? I killed her, you happy? Why, trying to get revenge. The old witch's eyebrows raised with skepticism, scoffing. You expect me to believe that someone with so little mana killed Glenda? Glenda may not be the strongest of us, but she isn't weak to the point where would lose against a child. The old witch looked at Noah with disdain. Then you want to follow her into the grave or something? Noah frowned. She asked a question, he answered, and now she was doubting him. Who does she think he is? The old witch sneered. What a disrespectful child. I had half a mind to spare you too. My name is Augusta, Witch of the East. Remember it, for it's the last name you'll ever know. With a wave of her hand, hundreds of magic circles surrounded Noah. However, before the magic could be expelled, Noah pointed at Augusta. Bang! Instantly, a spear of ice rapidly approached Augusta, her eyes widening in surprise. Noah felt a surge of strength as soon as he started fighting. It seemed whatever standard the system had used to judge people had deemed this woman as evil. Augusta quickly moved to the right, dodging the spear by a hair's breadth, the magic circles she had prepared having fallen apart due to interruption of her concentration. Instantaneous manifestation of an element. Was he an owner of a sacred gear? But she didn't feel any change in mana. The mana in the boy's body hadn't even changed, rather, it increased. Noah sighed into his hands cause he wanted to aura farm. Are all witches this stupid? He lowered his voice on purpose, attempting to sound cooler. Regrettably, due to his childish voice, it sounded like he was imitating a cool voice instead, making him sound cute. While he could just activate Doomsday Come, there was a very small chance that she could just run away, as unlike Glenda she wasn't injured in any way, and killing her instantly wasn't very impactful or cool at all. Noah thrived on coolness. Coolness for the win. Number 1 prospective aura farmer. Instantly killing Augusta was boring as hell. Maybe if Augusta were stronger, he might have a little trouble. But would he lose? Nah, I'd win. Noah shot out a wave of ice all around him, pushing Augusta back. Maybe he would have the opportunity to use his other X-rank skill. On the other hand, Augusta was analyzing his ice, before widening her eyes when she realized how his magic worked. The boy was creating ice through the atmospheric mana. The concept of using the ambient mana in the air as a conduit for mana was widely considered only theoretical, and while automatically generating elements were rare, they still used the user's mana to be generated. However, Noah's ice was generated through the mana in the air, even sustaining itself by absorbing the mana around it. None of his own mana was used in the process of converting the mana into a different state. If she could understand the principles on how Noah was able to do so, she could even use large-scale spells completely by herself. She inwardly drooled at the possibilities. She wanted to refrain from using her Longinus because even she had her pride as the Witch of the East, but she needed to capture the boy alive. Who cared if Glenda had a lead to a possible Longinus-class sacred gear? Noah shivered at the way Augusta's gaze changed from weariness to desire. Yo, Noah knows he said he liked mommies, but this ditty grandma was way too old. FBI. Noah raised his hands, manifesting hundreds of ice weapons hovering in the air. Damn, was he aura farming like crazy. A +++ rank wind of Niflheim go burr. He crossed his arms like a certain blonde king, thinking of cool-sounding quotes. Toad lusting after swan meat. You are courting death. He launched the ice weapons, until a blast of flames originated from Augusta, knocking the ice weapons away. From behind Augusta, a large giant of flames manifested, a large crucifix on its back, its aura forcing the newer ice weapons to shatter. Noah's brows furrowed. How much aura did he lose from that? He even used a cool quote just for the old hag to nullify his entire performance. If that fire giant could nullify his A+++ rank skill just like that, he would unfortunately have to use other skills that wasn't cool at all. Doomsday Come was cool and all, but it felt underwhelming for an X-rank noble phantasm, and there was no way Augusta was going to give him the chance to use Trash and Crush. He reluctantly raised his hands to activate Doomsday Come, trying to at least look cool before activating it, while Augusta commanded the fire giant to attack Noah, but something unusual happened. Instead of attacking, the fire giant didn't move at all. From Augusta's chest, a purple flame floated out. Noah stopped his motion in confusion. For a few seconds, both parties froze. Augusta grasped her chest, feeling like she had lost something, before looking at the purple flame in a panic. She reached out her hand to attempt to grasp it, but instead, the purple flame sped toward Noah. What the fuck? Noah shot out an ice wave to stop the flame from approaching him, thinking it was an attack, but it phased through the ice and entered his chest. Augusta's fire giant dematerialized, and Augusta's breathing quickened, as if she was having a panic attack. Noah blinked in confusion. What the fuck just happened? Obtained the Longinus Incinerate Anthem. You have obtained the rare achievement Closer to God's Creations +5 free pulls. You have obtained a sacred gear. You have obtained the achievement Weapons of God +1 free pull. You have obtained one of the holy relics in DxD, the Holy Cross. You have obtained the rare achievement Children's of God +5 free pulls. You have defeated the Witch of the East, Augusta. You have obtained the achievement Dorothy Gale's House +1 free pull. You have disabled an important person in the original life of Levvenia Rennie. You have obtained the achievement Destiny Entanglement Levvenia Rennie Part 2 +1 free pull. You have changed the destiny of Walburga. You have obtained the achievement Future Burglar +1 free pulls. You have changed the destiny of Lint Selzen. You have obtained the achievement Butterfly of Faith +1 free pulls. Excuse me. Noah looked at the sudden increase of notifications in confusion. Incinerate Anthem. Was that the fire golem? Also, what are all these names he had no idea of? Walburga, Lint Selzen, who are these randoms? Ultimately, Noah pushed the notifications out of his mind, focusing back on the fight. Glancing at Augusta's expression of despair, Noah's expression turned smug. How much aura points did Augusta lose by losing her sacred gear to a kid? Noah looked back at Augusta with a look of pure disgust. Are you going to keep fighting on my block? Noah deepened his voice again. Augusta, whose source of pride had shattered, looked at Noah before slowly shaking her head. Noah huffed. Sit humbled. You were weak. I feel magnanimous today, mongrel. He waved his hands in dismissal. Get out of my sight. He watched as Augusta teleported away, pale-faced. Damn, was that aura or not? Noah's aura farming adventure. Steel Ball Run ended there, as he looked at his rewards. Longinus, that was the 13 strongest sacred gears, capable of killing even gods if he remembered correctly. Damn, that sounded cool as fuck. Noah pointed at a nearby tree. Boom, a large blast of purple fire hit the tree. Damn, this low-key looks metal as fuck. Noah was the type to like Azula's flames from Avatar: The Last Airbender, preferring it over the boring red. Purple was sick as well. He could be like his role model Shadow. Noah covered one of his eyes, having a purple ball of fire come out of his extended hand. I need more power. Sheesh. Experimenting with it, a decent amount of time had passed. The hunt only took him 15 minutes, and fighting Augusta took him another 5. But he spent another 10 minutes having fun with his new flames. He could be the next Avatar with how he was collecting these elements. He assumed that he still had a decent amount of time before Levvenia and Griselda got worried, so he decided to start his pulls. Noah did promise to get Levvenia some new pieces of clothing. He could probably get some good clothing in 18 pulls, the reward from the rare achievements making up the majority of his pull count and inadvertently affecting 2 random people he had never met. He inwardly thanked the witch for delivering such a reward to his doorstep. If the Incinerate Anthem represented the Holy Cross, then it probably chose him over the witch cause of his skill protection of the faith. Damn, he was still finding out new benefits from it, like peeling back onion layers or some saying like that. Since he did get the Holy Cross, it would feel weird not to pray in appreciation. He snapped his fingers like an alchemist from a certain anime, creating a glowing purple crucifix, which didn't melt the snow around him. He kneeled and started praying. Not to God though, since God was dead. Dear Saint Martha, thank you for delivering the cross to me, and please give me something good. Pull. Outfit Rama Stage 1. Into the inventory it went. He'd look at it back at the church and show it off to Levvenia. Pull. Craft Essence Kuji Kanasada. Noah quickly inspected the blade that appeared, and tossed it into his inventory. He didn't know swordsmanship and wasn't going to start learning it. Long-range fighting for the win. If he had enough swords, maybe he could have his own Gate of Babylon. That idea had potential. Pull. Outfit Yoshiwakamaru, swimsuit, stage 3. Yeah no. Into the inventory it went and it wasn't coming back out. Pull. Stat point little plus 0.1 strength. It felt like it had been forever since he got a stat point. Since Protection of the Faith boosted off his existing stats, increasing his base stats for now was pretty important. Next. Pull. Craft Essence Chocolate Nandi, 1/1 scale. A large bull-sized chocolate statue appeared, causing Noah to pause. That has to be overkill. Cavity speedrun looking awe. Into the inventory it went. Maybe Levvenia could eat it all. Pull. Stat point little plus 0.1 strength. Okay nice. Next. Pull. Stat point little plus 0.1 strength. Nice. Next. Pull. Craft Essence Royal Icing. An ice sculpture of Lancer Artoria Altar appeared, in a semi-translucent nightgown. Noah paused, observing the rather humongous assets. Fate really was peak fiction. The chances of him ever taking it out with people around were zero, so he had to take the opportunity to observe it for a solid minute. After a few more seconds of silent appreciation, Noah put it into his inventory. Next. Pull. Craft Essence Heroic Spirit Formal Dress, Bedivere. Into the inventory it went. If it was from Bedivere, the FGO devs probably didn't make it show much skin. It would be good for Levvenia. Next. Pull. Outfit Nemo Captain, Stage 3. Outfit origin is related to Vessel. Extra skill. Memory partition Nemo variant, a rank available when wearing the outfit Nemo Captain. But wasn't his vessel Noah? Noah in FGO uses the vessel of an older Captain Nemo. Noah nodded in understanding. Sorry Levvenia, he had an outfit to wear. So far he hadn't got any skills or noble phantasms, so this extra skill would have to be utilized. He couldn't resist that extra skill. He'd check it out later. Next. Pull. Extra skill Gawain's knowledge of cooking E rank. A small sharp pain happened, but not nearly as painful as Merlin's knowledge. Noah scanned his memories to find out that the knowledge was absolutely useless. How good would food from the medieval times even be? Sit humbled. You can't cook. Next. Pull. Stat point small plus 0.1 endurance. Noah sighed. Was Saint Martha not the play here? Other than his Nemo outfit and maybe the Artoria ice sculpture, the rest were rather useless. Even the stat boosts were extremely minuscule. He looked at the purple cross in front of him. Maybe he should go back to Jean. He did ask Jean Alter, but not the original Jean. He personally preferred her Avenger variant. Dear Saint Jean, please give me something good. Stat point large plus 10 strength. Finally, something good. Thank you Jean. Pull. Noble Phantasm Graham A+ rank. Noah paused in his tracks. Graham, like the demonic sword Graham. Holy shit, Jean my queen, I always loved you more than Jalter. Holding the sword in his hands, he swung it a few times before Noah looked at it in confusion. For the so-called strongest demonic sword, he didn't really feel anything from the damn weapon other than an underlying energy. To release the full extent of Graham, one of the swords of selection, host either needs the personal skill, Dragonkind modification or have the blood of Sigurd. Without either, it is just an extra sturdy sword. Noah froze at the response. He finally got a good weapon and they're saying that it needs prerequisites. Noah flopped over into the snow. Damn you, Jean, he tossed it into the inventory. Pull. Noble Phantasm Graham A+ rank. Bro this ain't even funny anymore. Jean I want to apologize. Noah bowed down. He just got 2 absolutely useless weapons. He didn't want a third one. He only had 3 more pulls, and that was it. Pull. Outfit Oda Nobukatsu Stage 1. Into the inventory. Next. Pull. Outfit Typhon Ephemeros Stage 1. Into the inventory. He only had 1 more pull and he only got 1 useful thing, but he didn't even know how good Nemo's extra skill was. Noah sighed. Maybe the more pulls he could do in a row the more unlucky he was. Pull. Noble Phantasm Excalibur Proto CEX rank. What the fuck? Plus. Chapter was a little delayed cause the movers came into my dorm and took my fucking student id with them and I have a midterm TMR. You may think the mic is dumb. Yeah, I know he's dumb. I made him retarded on purpose, not for plot reasons but because if I make a mistake I can just use the excuse that the mic is dumb. Also, I say I'll stop making the chapters so goddamn long but it's like ingrained in my system to make chapters 5,000 words long. What do you guys think I'm going to do with the second gram? Also, I might just make Noah Lint's White Moonlight, if you guys get the meaning. Also, Crota Excalibur looks so much cooler than normal Excalibur and that's a fact. Thanks for all the support and I would appreciate power stones, comments, and reviews. Thanks. Plus, I removed the items cause the profile was getting too long. Current status page of Noah. Noah, Vessel. Noah source, Old Testament. Parameters, Strength, 16.55, 50 EPOTF, not even F. Endurance, 5.22, 50 EPOTF, not even F. Agility, 15.12, 50 EPOTF, not even F. Mana, 9.00, 50 EPOTF, not even F. Luck, 81.58, 90 APOTF B. NP, X, Extra Skills, Knowledge of Reinforcement Magecraft, Levvenia et Elvelt. Knowledge of Illusion Magecraft, Illusions so real that the world believes it, Merlin X rank. Last Master Fujimaru Ritsuka's Experience, Second Singularity, Eternal Madness Empire, Septim D rank. Memory Partition, Nemo variant, A rank. Gawain's Knowledge of Cooking E rank. Class Skills, Class Skill Writing D rank, C rank POTF. Personal Skills, Jewel of the Earth A rank, A+++ rank POTF. Furthest Earth Kyokuchi A rank, A+++ rank POTF. Wind of Niflheim B rank, A rank POTF. Protection of the Faith X rank. Trash and Crush X rank. Noble Phantasms are equivalent. Those who make me lower my head, even once, I pray they all die E rank, D rank POTF. Doomsday Come X rank. Flucticulus Diana C rank, B rank POTF. Fairy Sword Galatine Weapon. Longinus Incinerate Anthem A++ rank. Gram A+ rank. Gram A+ rank. Excalibur Crota CEX rank. 14 comments 0 vote.